There's only 3 ways to get rich. Investments, inheritance, and stealing it. I'm gonna get good at stealing it. You know what I'm saying? That's real talk. That's what I told myself. I lived on one side of the track, and we had, we had the good side, and they had the other side of the track, and the judge said, why did you choose the other side of the track then? I said, that's all I'm saying. I don't even want to be in trouble no more. I'm tired of being in trouble. You gonna snitch on 2, 3 years, 5 years, you old pussy.
Do your damn time.
That ain't
you knew what you were doing.
You know what you were doing. You know what I'm saying?
We're here for the introduction of In and Out. It's a movement to change the world. It represents all things and all of us at all times. It's about freeing ourselves of any prison.
All right, welcome to In and Out Podcast, where I have dope conversations with incredible people who have been freed from some form of prison. I'm Eric G, the host, and today I got my guest, George Byrom, and he joins me to take us along his journey of redemption, overcoming hardship, pain, struggle, and grief, and he takes us on that journey of redemption. So I want to give you an opportunity, George. Number one, I want to thank you. I know you got all type of things going on, and I want to thank you for sitting down with us and sharing with our viewers your whole journey, everything you've been through, and focus on what you're doing today. I want to give you an opportunity to introduce yourself, tell everybody who you are, and then we can get into your story.
Well, I'm George. Right now I'm a personal marketing guru. They call me sometimes, but I was once about 20 years ago incarcerated for mail fraud, which is mail fraud. Which was really insurance fraud, but the government didn't have an insurance card charge. They're talking about mail fraud by doing stuff through the mail, by doing insurance fraud. And that's was my history. I did, I had sentenced to 46 months. I actually did 18 months in federal prison camp. And I had everything that I did. I actually came out, and I kind of I don't feel call it a full redemption, but a redemption of my criminal lifestyle that I basically had been doing probably for the younger part of my life, from 18 all the way to probably 36 years old. And I redeemed myself, but I think it only happened because I did go to prison. And when I got out, actually when I went, I said I would never do it again. And I went, came out, and I had to get my heart and my mind right to not do anything I had done in the past. But that's who I am. Right now, we do personal injury. I do it for attorneys and doctors. I help people be injured in accidents. And with that being said, turn it back over there.
Yeah, no doubt. So, George, I'll be remiss if I didn't bring up the fact that, George, you're a father, a husband.
Yes.
You're a businessman.
Yep.
You're a promoter, a marketer.
Yep.
And you're a personal injury extraordinaire.
Hey,
one of the best that's ever done it. He's doing it on a whole new level. He's doing what many might believe was impossible, because the man is not an attorney, but he's doing it better than most attorneys. He's getting you more money than most attorneys. He's giving you a better deal than most attorneys. And a lot of people probably don't even like that, because he's doing something that a lot of people just didn't even know was possible. He's doing the impossible, and that's why we got him here today, because as you know, on In and Out, we focus on extraordinary people like yourself that were legends from their community at one time, maybe had some ups and downs, ended up going through some struggles, overcame that, and now they're becoming legends again. He kind of remade himself. So let me ask you this, George. How did you grow up? Who is George Byrom? Where did you grow up? What type of background did you have? What type of income level? What type of neighborhood did you grow up in? I'd say, did you have a lot of crime around you when you was a kid, when you were going to high school? Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, all right. So how I grew up. Wow, that's a big one, because I grew up in the HOOD, the hood, Southwest Atlanta, and it was the real hood. And but for me, and for a lot of people who grew up with us, shit didn't even seem like the hood. I mean, that's all we knew. It just seemed like home, seemed like what everybody else really had during that time. And Southwest Atlanta, it was like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You had the good side and you had the hood side.
Right.
And I kind of grew up in the middle of both sides of the hood. I went to school with the people on the supposedly good side, but then I lived on the other side with the hood where the projects was and all that good stuff. But I didn't grow up in the project, but I lived around the people who grew up in the project.
Right.
So
what projects were you near? This is Swats,
okay.
right? So
I'm in the Swats. So I was right there by Harris Homes.
Oh, okay.
That was in the way I grew up in the West End, so I was right by Harris Homes. And my brothers and sisters and me went to elementary school and middle school with people who grew up in Harris Homes and Oakland City and all those different areas. You know what I mean? So I grew up in the hood, like literally the hood.
For real.
But on the other side, I had the mayor of Atlanta living one block up the street from me while I was a child. You know what I'm saying? While I was growing up.
Did you?
Maynard Jacksonville, right across the street from the grocery store. I shopped there every day. And I know I had the mayor there, the police car in front of his house. His mother stayed across the street from his house.
Wow. Right
in Southwest Atlanta. So, and then I went to middle school where all the upper echelon black kids went to high school and middle school at Southwest and at Mays High School and Southwest High School. So we kind of like had the best of both worlds. But even inside of those worlds, we had a criminology in all of those worlds. You know, we had the hustlers who dealt with the politicians, who was, funded the politicians to get elected, who they was down with, because they grew up with the hustlers. Because we all, in one way or another, all together, some go this way, some go that way, but we all came from the beginning from the same hood. For all the black people stayed in the same area, a generation before that, all of them stayed together and they all spread out. Some went to law school and college, some just went to get trades, some became hustlers. And that's pretty how much how I grew up. And I grew up in that same kind of like, at same timing when people was like spreading out. Right. Where the hustlers was still hustlers, but they knew all the lawyers and the doctors. They were still friends. Right. So I grew up like that, and that's kind of like how I had the best of both worlds, and probably how I'm able to kind of flip it over like now the way I'm at. You know what I'm saying? Because I was able to see both sides and understand both sides.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, so there's real talk. And I told, actually, when I got sentenced, I told the judge that. And my judge happened to be from Southwest Atlanta. It was a black judge, Clarence Cooper. And he was one of those guys that grew up in Southwest Atlanta. He understood everything I was saying because he had grew up being in the hood and grew up in Southwest Atlanta and went there and knew all the hustlers and then became a lawyer and a judge, but he still understood both sides. He had been there. So he get it. You know what I'm saying? He actually got it,
Right.
He didn't help the sentence, but he still got it.
Right. He still had to punish you. I mean, he was still doing his job.
Exactly.
And you did, whatever the crime that you did, and we're going to get into that. But I'm glad that you said that because, as you were saying, you were in the community and you had the best of both worlds. It's very interesting that you say that because there's often a perspective that I take also. And that's what I was going to ask you. Do you think that kind of even maybe lends you an advantage to this day because you're able to seamlessly move in and out? One of the reasons why you're so good at what you do, I think, and you confirm or deny, is because the people in our community are always going to come to you because when they're looking for someone, if they've been in an accident, you come across as being authentic because you can relate to them.
I can relate to them.
So they're going to be drawn to you. Yeah. But then at the same time, you're able to do business in the corporate world to other people that might not know anything about your world. So you probably got everybody drawn for your services.
I got everybody drawn for services. A lot of the attorneys I know, a lot of them grew up, because they might have grew up in like away from the hood because, you know what I mean? A lot of them, and they can't relate to hood motherfuckers. And I know it, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they think they can do what I do, but they can't do what I do because they can't relate to a hood motherfucker. I can relate to a hood motherfucker. I've been working with lawyers since I was 18 years old. I can relate to the lawyers. You know what I'm saying? I can relate to the doctors. I can relate to all of them because I've been in both worlds pretty much all of my life. And people wonder how I'm able to do it, how I'm able to have I can have some hood motherfuckers at my Christmas party. I can have the doctors and lawyers at my Christmas party. And everybody be like, it's all freaking good. They be like, man, I ain't never been to a party. They had Latinos, they had black people, they had white people, they had hood people, they had lawyers and doctors. They had, man, but that's really the world that I was kind of raised in, and that's how I'm able to move in and out of both worlds.
In and out. I like what you did right there.
In and out of both worlds. That's real talk.
No doubt, and that's why we're doing the podcast, and that's why I love it, because that's what we talk about. We talk about in and out of all type of different worlds and mentalities, and so that's dope. I appreciate you for weaving that in there.
Yeah.
So those parties that you talk about, and I'll get back to what we were talking about, but the diverse parties and having the different people from many different backgrounds, many different experiences, many different neighborhoods, many different cultures, to me, and obviously you, because you're the one throwing them, those is always the dopest parties.
Those are always the dopest parties, man. And I always liked that when everybody can get together in one room and be like one. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
It's like, and all smiling and all having a good time. And that shows us that we all can do that all the time at any given time. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
You know, a lot of people don't even try it, but that's the only way I want to do it.
Right. Well, a lot of people don't try it probably because they don't know how. They have a fear of it. And maybe a lot of people stick to just a group that they're more familiar with, that they're not afraid of. So when they go to drawing or getting people to come to a party, they're only going to reach out to what they know or who they connected to.
Exactly.
You connected to everybody. So it comes naturally for you.
Everybody.
That's pretty dope. So going back to, let's stay at where you was when you was growing up. Did you, like your background, did you have both your parents in your life?
Well, that's interesting. And I tell people a lot of the time, tell my son, I talk to him that my mother and my father never got divorced up until the day he died. And my dad was in my house, but I'm going to say it again, he was in and out of my house. Our whole life with this in and out, it's like everything about our life is an in and out moment, especially in the African American community. It's an in and out of jail. Daddy in and out of the house, right. Mama in and out of prison, daddy in and out, you know what I'm saying, or something. On and off welfare, right. You know what I'm saying, on and off food stamps, you know what I'm saying? Right. That's been our whole life. Some people, mama ain't never touched food stamps, never touched jail, never touched crack. But my daddy in and off crack, you know what I'm saying? My mama off welfare, I don't say welfare, off food stamps, on food stamps, you get laid off, gotta take some food stamps, go back to work, no food stamp, that's been our whole life. That's probably been my whole life, in, off and on, different stuff. But my mama always had a job. She always worked. My dad had been to Vietnam War. He came out, mama said before he went to Vietnam, he was a perfect gentleman. When he got to Vietnam, in and out, off and on, you know what I'm saying? Come home, not come home. He's just a different man. But she never divorced my father. He was always in and out the house. You know what I'm saying? He'd come home for 6 months, didn't see him for 6 months, come home. I tell her, I said, I really didn't. I just said, thank you, sir. I tell my friend, I said, my dad he was there, but he wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? Because he wasn't there because he really didn't. I really didn't have. I said I can remember some of the conversations I had with my dad because I had so very few with him. Oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? I tell people sometimes I say I go out with this girl or something. I say eat all you want, but order all you want, but eat all you order. I can remember that because my dad took us out like 2 or 3 times, right. And he said order all you want, but eat all you order. So I go out with a girl, I say, order all you want, but eat all you order. Those are some of the only things I can remember from my dad because I'm like, those are the only few things he ever said. I don't have much to say about him as far as that. You know, I got about 4 or 5 sayings that my dad just said, and I remember them because that's all he said. That's all I know him for. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, I remember owning that nightclub I had, and my daddy, I had just bought it, and I was 20, and my daddy was older than me, of course. He was like 50 or something like that, 40 something. He said he was going through some issues. He wouldn't stay at my mom at the time. He was in and out. He came, sit on the porch. He said, "What should I do?" Because I owned a nightclub. He had been 1 or 2 times. I'm like, I said, how the hell I know?
He asked you what
he asked me what he should do.
In reference to what?
I don't know what it was about. Maybe about, he was doing something in life. He was like, what should he do? I'm like, nigga, you my dad.
He looking for you.
He looking for me for advice. And I'm like, man, that's some awkward shit. You know what I'm saying? But that's what it had. I was 21 at the time. He was asking me for advice. And I ought to show you that's the type of life I had with my father. My mother, perfect person without my mom. I mean, actually, I grew up in the hood with my mom. I never felt like one day we was in the hood. We always felt like we had everything. Never went without a meal. You know what I'm saying? I always had clothes. I always had shoes. Never thought anything was wrong. I always owned a home the whole time. You know, small house. I went back to it a couple times, but it was a house. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we never lived in the project. Stayed in one house my whole life. Went to 3 schools: Beecher Hills, Southwest, and Mays High School. Never changed schools. Just all in one neighborhood. So it was kind of everything was studied, never in and out of different houses, but we had a lot of in and out moments, you know what I'm saying?
Right. So let me ask you, you had a lot of in and out moments. This is what it sounds like based on what you're saying to me.
Yeah.
And your father was in your life. You knew your father loved you, but he struggled with substance abuse. And that's another type of mental prison that he was obviously going through.
Exactly.
He couldn't get out of it.
So
it sounds like you knew you had the love from your father, which, you know, knowing that, like somebody said to me before, a very good friend of mine, and he's dead now, but his father was a mentor to mine, and he was he was the coordinator of the mock trial at Thorough High. You know, I went to Thorough High.
Okay. That's what Cooper went to.
Okay. And the judge.
Yeah.
Wow. So they was a magnet program for law and government.
Okay.
And his son said to me that his father said to him before, when it comes to your children or a parent, he said, there's something about just being there.
That's true.
So your father was there. So he was in your life, but he was out of your life mostly.
Exactly.
But it strikes me because you still remembered a few nuggets that he gave you. And that made an impression on you.
Yep.
But it sounds like the consistency came from your mom.
Consistent.
The structure. The work ethic. And even though she might have been on welfare, she was doing the best that she could do. Like so many of us in our communities. You know, we watch our parents, and a lot of times it's the mother.
Yeah.
Sometimes both of them, but just because of, you know, like just what we've gone through.
In and out.
In and out. Sometimes the father's either in prison, they're not there.
Yeah.
They might be struggling with some type of other problem, substance abuse. Yeah. You know, we're not going to get into that now, but we just know that in our community that happens a lot. But it sounds like your mother was the one that was not only the breadwinner, but she offered that structure and that consistency. Yeah. And she probably got a lot to do with the person that you are today. With your father still, like I said, he was in your life. Yeah. Not taking that away from him.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's fascinating to me, just hearing that from you. Like you said, it does mean something. You went to 3 schools, but it wasn't like you was in and out of a bunch of different schools. You went to the schools that you went to in your neighborhood.
That's it.
You lived in one house because your mother made it happen. No matter what. That's a testament to her.
Yeah.
Now, you was around people, let's say, just for the lack of a better term, as they say, both sides of the tracks.
Mm-hmm.
So people,
look, I use the same term when I talk to Clarence. I say, look, I lived on one side of the track, and we had the good side, and they had the other side of the track, and the judge said, why'd you choose the other side of the track then? I said, that's all I knew. You know what I'm saying? I said I knew about both sides, but my side was the side I was more comfortable with, you know?
And that's crazy that you say that, because that was literally going to be my next question. Yeah. And number one, I want to say, first of all, I feel that you might have been fortunate. This dude, Clarence Cooper, it sounds like you might have benefited from the fact that he looked like you, looked like us.
Yeah, no doubt.
So when you was telling him that, he knew you were being genuine.
He did.
And if that judge might have been from, let's just say he was from, I don't know, if he was from Buckhead, and he might have had a completely different experience. And you might have had a completely different experience with that sentence.
It could be right. It could be true too. All of that, no doubt.
Right.
No doubt.
So my question was going to be to you: do you feel like you gravitated to? Because you said you was around both people. Even you said you was around hustlers, but then you was around some other people that weren't hustlers. Did you gravitate towards one or the other a little more? Yeah. Was there something that was in young George that said, I know there's a lot of hustlers, but I also see cats that's not hustling, but I enjoy that hustling.
Well, I tell you, I give you a perfect example, because this is something that stuck with me from a child. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful what you tell your kids and what you tell your grandkids.
What you talking about?
Because I had my grandfather, highly successful. Before he was our patriarch.
He was the patriarch of the family.
He was like, he owned land. He had, he was his own company. It's my mom's father, and we just go to his house every holiday, every summer. Go down to my mom and her father, and he used to sit all his kids around the table, and he would say, "It's only 3 ways to get rich." He used to tell us this. He used to say, "You can get rich."
How old were you?
Every year he told us the same thing. Okay. I'll start my 5 all the way up to our.
He cemented it. Okay, it was repetitive.
It was repetitive. Every time he said, "It's only 3 ways to get rich." He said, "You get rich from investments, inheritance, and stealing it.
Wow.
That's what he said. Investment, inheritance, and stealing it. And he used to always do a hand. You'll never get rich with these right here.
He was on to something.
Huh?
He was on to something.
And I looked at it, I said, well, my grandfather, he's wealthy. He got about 100 grandkids. Ain't gonna be in no inheritance for me. No, that's why I said to myself as a kid. I remember telling myself this. And I remember saying to myself, I don't know how to invest. Because he told us about investment. He was investing, but he really didn't like, did you need to buy this? He never told us that.
Told you to do it, but he didn't tell you how.
He didn't tell us how to do it. And he said, stealing it. And he told me I never get rich. I ain't never like to work. So this would never option me trying to go and just punching clocks every day. I ain't never had a job but once in my life. So I took the advice. These right here ain't gonna get me rich. I ain't doing it. You know what I'm saying? And so I took the advice from my grandfather and I said, stealing it. And that last little thing, I said, damn, I can steal it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I kept myself all growing up, stealing it. Because he said, I don't know how to invest. He ain't taught me. I can go. Anybody tell I can go to college to learn. He ain't say go to college. He ain't say go to college, learn how to invest. He did not say that. He said, I'll steal it. So I said to myself, okay, I'm gonna get good at stealing it. You know what I'm saying? That's real talk. That's what I told myself. Wow. And when the opportunities came, nobody told me about college. So all the college people going to school saying go to college. I don't fucking go to college. Just steal it. You know what I'm saying? You feel me?
Right.
Do something, figure out a scheme or something. Just move around, steal it. Swear to God, this is how my mind was thinking because the instructions that had been given without all the instructions. My mama wasn't an investor. She worked every day. Oh, fuck that. I'm not going to Nabisco and General Motors. I seen everybody doing that shit. And they all fighting over a chicken bone. Everybody, I'm rich. Got all more money than you, but everybody working. I'm like, my granddad said, you ain't gonna get rich from working. That ain't happening. So I knew working. My mama ain't rich. She got a great job. Mama had a good job. Right. She was making more money than just like the people at General Motors and they was at the top of the food chain when you had a good company job, good benefits. I don't want no benefits. I don't want to work. I ain't finna be in no factory working. Cause my granddaddy said, you ain't gonna get rich with these. In my mind, I want to be fucking rich. Right. You feel me? Right. So I'm listening to my granddaddy. Right. And that's why you gotta be careful on what you tell your grandkids, tell your kid without giving them some freaking instructions. Hey, you can't get rich by stealing. You can fake it like you rich. You can get rich for a little while, but that shit ain't gonna last. Right. He ain't never say that. He said you can get rich by stealing. Right.
So he obviously he thought he was giving you some good advice. But really, he was influencing you in the wrong way.
He was influencing.
You took to the stealing part.
I took to the stealing part. Stealing, he said. Because my granddad was a Christian man.
And he never stole.
He never stole that I know of. You know what I'm saying? Right. That I know of. Because you never know what a motherfucker be doing. You know? That you never know.
No, that's real shit.
So I'm saying, because he didn't know. I think he didn't give me. Because to me, a righteous person said, I'm going to tell y'all right now, stealing ain't going to fucking work.
That's right.
So you got to write that off.
That's
you
right.
got to knock that out.
That's what he should have said.
That's what
he gave you 3 options.
He gave me 3 fucking options.
And you took one.
And I took one.
And it didn't work out.
And it didn't fucking work out. You feel me?
Wow.
And I always go back and think about the options. I said, he gave me 3 fucking options. Why did he not say? Because I'm going to tell my girl, I'll tell him now, I'll tell my kids, still ain't going to work.
Right.
I've done that, been there. It ain't going to work. You might get away with it for a little while. But at the end, shit ain't gonna work. Right. Don't even take that option. Right. You know what I'm saying? You feel me?
Right, no doubt.
Motherfucker, granddad didn't give me that. I love him to death. He didn't give me that option. Right. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it was intentional.
No, of course it wasn't. That's what I'm saying.
I think either he had maybe got away with a little stealing. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not saying it. It might have worked out and got him to buy him a piece of land. Gotcha. I don't know.
Right. You just speculating. Right.
I'm speculating. But I'm saying he didn't give me the option of stealing ain't gonna work.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so therefore I said to myself, you gotta be careful. And I be really careful when I tell my kid, I'm like, look, you see what happened to me? Right. I went to jail. Still ain't gonna work. Get that out your mind. You know what I'm saying? Whatever I said, it's just taking just as much energy to steal as it do to do the right thing. That's right. I'm telling them because that's from my experience, that's what I've learned. Shit, if you're gonna be stealing, you might well just be doing the right thing. It's the same amount of energy. Right. Shit, you know what I'm saying? But that's the energy I got, and that's why I had chose the route I chose. And this not something that I feel like from a lot of people, it's not something that just happened to you overnight. This some shit you implanted in you from childhood.
From childhood.
You know what I'm saying? And that shit, in a good way, had been implanted in me from childhood.
Wow.
Because he only gave me those 3 choices: inheritance, investing,
And stealing.
The only 3 ways to get rich. And he said, can't get rich with these. I took that one off the plate. I did.
Right. And then you took the other one off.
Ain't nobody never talked about it. I don't know how to invest.
What is that?
My granddaddy got 100 grandkids. We got 200 acres
That's
down.
right. There ain't gonna be no
We
inheritance.
got 200 acres down in the country right now. Still down there. My mama the only living sister, and nobody know what to do with it because he got about probably 100 grandkids, 200 great grandkids, and about another 150 great grandkids.
Does he really have that many?
Yeah, because we had 9 kids, and all of them got their kid. I'm saying that's the clusterfuck is in right now. That's why I wrote that out, and he had about $100 million back then. We was all doomed to be fucked. Think about the inheritance. You feel me?
Wow.
I wrote that out. I knew better on that one. I saw that like, shit, all these grandkids, they ain't gonna work. So inheritance out the way.
Right.
Investment out the way. Anybody taught me no investment.
He gave you 3 options and you quickly eliminated 2. So then only left 1. Stealing.
Yep.
Wow.
And hey, look, maybe I was twisted in the beginning for that. I don't know, but I know that was implanted in my mind. And still, I can tell you right now, from 5 years old, he told me that every year up until I was almost 18 years old, he told us all the time. Every year, he set us down. We drank coffee at my grandma's table.
Yeah, this is some good coffee.
No, I'm talking about we drank coffee.
Right.
My grandma had coffee. He'd sit us down in the pitch night, falls riveted in the concrete.
Outside.
And all you can hear, we drinking coffee at the table. And he
Okay,
telling us, all his grandkids. And he's sitting us around, about 10, 15 of us. And he's telling us this story. And he told us every year. And I don't know if I'm the only one to remember it, but I'm the only one still talking about it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, and I'm quite sure others of us remember it, but I'm the only one probably just telling everybody else. But I remember those stories.
Yeah. Now I'll be fascinated when they see it.
And he was like,
I do remember those stories.
I remember those stories, exactly.
Right. Well, did any of them invest or?
Some of them invested. Some of them steal it. You know what I'm saying? We got, everybody went their own way. And,
Got you.
You know what I know about stealing? And I'm gonna say this not in a bad way or a good way, but in a way, people be stealing right now, and they some thieves. Never get caught. Never go to jail. They steal from their family. They steal from their friends.
100%.
They steal from the store. They steal from every fucking. They just fucking thieves. Never get caught. They think they're good people.
Yeah.
They think they're good people,
Right.
but they be stealing everything they get their hands on. Can't trust them with nothing.
It's just in them.
Just in them.
Yeah, we all know
what I'm
people
saying?
like that.
I all know people like that. You know what I'm saying? So that just some people get caught, but they just steal on another level and steal a different way. But some people just be stealing.
For no good reason.
No good reason.
They don't even have to.
Don't even have to. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, that ain't never been me. Every time I stole for a reason.
You stole for a reason.
I stole for
to get rich.
To get rich.
You're trying to get rich.
To get rich. That's the real talk.
I learned before, this was somebody told me, I don't remember who told it to me, but they said, I think it was a cousin of mine. He said, cousin, he said, the only time a thief will stop stealing is when there's nothing else to steal.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
That's real talk.
You know?
That's real talk.
So, and I'm going to get back to the stealing component, but I want to ask you about what you mentioned when you was giving your intro.
Mm-hmm.
You own a nightclub, and you were the youngest person in Atlanta to own a nightclub. What was the name of it? How did you get into it? How did you get the money to get it? Tell us about that backstory.
Okay. So, I was 20 years old. I worked at Crawford Loan. This only job I ever had to this day, like really real job. I worked at Crawford Loan Hospital. I got a job. My brother worked there, and he was in high school. He hooked me up. When he got out of high school, he said, man, you can work there. My brother's 3 years older than me. He graduated high school. He went on to the Navy. He said, I'm going to get you a job at Crawford Loan. Got me a job at Crawford Loan. 16 years old. I worked there till I was 20.
That's the only job you ever had?
Only real job. I worked little play jobs for like 1 or 2 weeks and some shit like that. But the only real job I worked 4 years. I worked at Crawford Loan Hospital. I never really had another job after that that I can remember. But I worked at Crawford Loan's a real job. Benefits at 16, had, clock in, vacation. It was a real job.
Were you still going to high school?
I was in high school, but it was a real job. It was a hospital, so they had it structured like a real job. Everybody got the same benefit, whether you were part-time or full-time. Yeah, I still got my retirement from Crawford Loan to this day. Only retirement I got other than what I've done now from Crawford Long Hospital is still putting money in. Well, they don't put money into no more, but that's still growing since I've been there for the 4 years I worked.
Wow.
So that's the only job, the only little plan I had, but I still got it. And so I worked there for 4 years. And one day, me and my friend, he was in high school, I got him hired there. This is my partner we had on the club with. I said, man, I can't do this no more. I saw what my granddad had said. Like, everybody walking around here working for benefits. Ain't nobody trying to get work. Condo work is like everybody on the hamster wheel. I said, my mama had done it my whole life. I'm like, I don't want to do this shit. So everybody, I work at General Motors. I ain't got no problem with people doing that. That's not what I want. Because my granddad said, you can get rich. So I want to get rich. I said, this ain't going to get me rich. So I left Crawford Long Hospital. We quit the same day together. We both left there together. And the first thing we did, we started doing some goddamn criminal shit, some fraud. Because I would like want to get rich. So we started doing a little scam, trying to order shit from Sears back then on the computer. We ordered online and we get the computer sent to us in the mail. It was I don't know how we did it, but it was easy. We got some computer, we got caught. Got caught within 3 months after we quit Crawford Long Hospital.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Right. Got caught coming out of the mailbox. I smelled with a box of computers. The police locked their ass up.
Oh, get out of here.
Yeah,
wow.
First offense, got off.
You got probation or something like that?
Get probation, got off, dropped the charges on did a little program.
Okay, diversion program, whatever.
Yeah, diversion program. Got off, no big deal. It happened, got off, got a lawyer. And then we said, man, we were hustling a little bit. Man, we tried to sell drugs. Tried to do a little.
So you did do a little bit
crack. Nigga robbed me every time. You know what I'm saying? I only had the balls to sell it. Right. We were scared, so we'll go buy whatever little cash we had. We'll buy some from some drug dealer we knew, break it down, get his mo nigga to sell it every time. Every time we gave it to him, he robbed. Oh man, we got robbed. I swear to God.
They were stealing from you.
They were stealing from me. Every time we get robbed, I'm like, man, I ain't gonna kill no nigga. I ain't gonna beat him up. Drug dealing ain't for me. And I ain't willing to do the time for drug dealing.
Right.
I say I'm more of a white collar guy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I just did. We just did out there and walked out the store with a box of computers. Motherfucker gave us goddamn a diversion program. We go home. Nothing on our record. They ain't doing drug dealers like that. They locking them motherfuckers up. You feel me?
They got mandatory minimum.
I said, I'm gonna stick to the goddamn white collar shit. This is how shit went down. In between that time, we playing around, a little joy here, a little joy, but it ain't working. So we like,
this before the club.
This before the club.
Okay,
so we like, man, I said, man, we gonna fuck. I said, we gonna fucking nightclub. Let's get us a nightclub. We were going to Frozen Paradise. We were like, man, let's get us a nightclub. We're going to 112. We were going on 112. Man, we had VIP in 112. We knew all the drug dealers. We grew up. We all family. We got my partner got a salon over here. All the drug dealers, all the guys who were in the accident game come to my partner house, to get their hair done before they go out to the club. So we going to the club, we VIP, we with the biggest drug dealers in Atlanta going with them. Kilo Ali is our partner. Wow. Because he with the biggest, he on the label with the biggest drug dealer. My partner who worked with me at Crawford Long, who was my partner in the nightclub eventually, he was roommates with Kilo. Him and my other partner, Tony, all in great house. They got a house with Kilo. So Kilo, the hottest thing in Atlanta. Right. We basically live with him. I don't live there. I live on my mama, but they live with him. But I'm over there every night with Kilo Ali, the hottest rapper in Atlanta. Fuck, So I'm like, shit. I'm like,
y'all partying every night.
We partying
every night. Hoes in
we got 112 on lock. We got the hole. We got the hottest rapper in Atlanta. Nigga, we the shit. Right. We doing trains on.
Y'all are all him.
We everywhere. We like the what they call it, the entourage. When Atlanta didn't have no rappers. But we them niggas. Because we got the hottest rapper in Atlanta. Ain't no Outkast. Ain't no TLC. Yeah, Kilo the only shit. Right. Him and Shy D.
Oh, wow. Shy D from Decatur, right?
That's it. Kilo Ali, Shy D, Raheem the Dream. That's it.
Yeah.
That it.
And you in that clique.
And I'm in that fucking clique. But Kilo the hottest.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we with Kilo. And that's our boy. He's so much our boy that he got money in the house. Because he was doing shows and shit. He got money in the house. My partner who had the nightclub with, we selling crack at the time, trying to get it. He done bought some crack, stole Kilo money out the goddamn house, bought $1,000 worth of crack, blew the dope up in the microwave. They can't pay Kilo his money back. Kilo like, well, my money, I had $1,000 in the safe. He got to tell him he blew it up in the microwave.
Wow.
No, this is some real shit.
Story.
Real story that happened. And I'm like, oh, how you gonna steal the man money under his mattress, below the damn door? Nigga, we already ain't no goddamn drug dealers, no gangsters, nigga. How you gonna do this dumb shit? And that's the real shit that happened. So we like, this ain't working. None of this shit ain't working.
Every time y'all try to
Every
do the
time we
hard,
try to do the hard,
drugs, it don't work.
Don't work. We said, man, we finna own a nightclub. We got to own a nightclub. We got to own a nightclub. My partner's father died. His father was an insurance man. And his dad had a lot of insurance on himself. He just happened to die with cancer. And he got a lot of money back, like $250,000, $2 million. I don't know how much it was. All I know, they had a lot of money. His dad owned his own agency. You know what I'm saying? So he was fully insured. So he left his mom a lot of money. So we said, man, Mom, let's try to get us a nightclub. We had some guy who was in the accident game who was like basically like I was doing, getting cases for other lawyers. And they had a friend who knew a friend who knew a friend that had heard that a nightclub was coming up for sale. This is just all, you know how I need to work. This is when I went to prison, all this stuff I had been saying, and it had been happening just because of my words. And I started hearing about how you speak the word and shit happen, because we just said, we want a nightclub. We put it out there. Next thing you know, we got somebody saying, man, it's a nightclub coming for sale. And the nightclub was coming for sale because they had murdered Sarah Tokars.
Oh my God.
It was Fred Tokars had been involved in the nightclub. And they were saying there was some drug dealers who owned the nightclub with Fred Tokars.
Andre Willis. I just had him. I just had him on the podcast.
Okay, good deal.
He's locked up right now.
Oh, really? He locked up again?
He got another charge. I just had him on the podcast right before he had to go.
Had to go into the, that's fucked up. I hate to hear that.
Just talked to him on the way here.
On the way here?
He called me.
Oh, really? So there you go. So that shit is wild. So this guy do that. I told you that's how interconnected in and out we are. Everybody know everybody. And so we with 19, 20 years old. We want a nightclub. Niggas actually entertained. They know we some hustlers.
Right. And Tokars was the white attorney that was helping drug dealers clean their money.
And personal injury attorney who was working
with the personal injury guy.
Okay. He was all of it. He was a criminal attorney, personal injury attorney,
former judge, former
prosecutor, all that. You know what I'm saying?
And he would help them clean their money, but he would be the front man for buying them the club. Wow.
Exactly. So we like wanted a nightclub. Cause Fred knew the runners, who knew the other drug dealers, who get the cases.
You were dealing with Fred Tokars?
I would deal with Fred. But the other guys who I knew who were coming to the shop, who we had met through the other guys who was in the action gang, how I got in it. You know what I'm saying? Because they was doing it as well. And they knew Fred Tokars and all the other attorneys. He was one of them. They knew the other drug, because everybody was connected. They knew the drug dealer, everybody hanging the club together. So it's a club on the Diamonds and Pearls, a big nightclub in Buckhead. You know what I'm saying? And James Mason was the front man owner. You know what I'm saying?
He was connected to Andre Willis and those guys.
Exactly. He was the nightclub guru in Atlanta. So anytime a drug dealer
he was a killer, wasn't he?
James Coco. No. He was
not James Mason.
James Mason was homosexual.
That was a homosexual.
But he was a nightclub guru who would he'd do some gangster shit if he needed him to. But he really wasn't no killer. He really was a nightclub. I just remember that name. Who was connected to some gangster. If he needed some shit done, hey, can y'all do that for me? He'll get it done. So he got caught up in the Fred Tokar shit, and Fred Tokar killed his wife, and then he had his wife killed. Exactly. And he had his wife killed, and we heard about the nightclub being open. We said, shit, here we go. Like I said, my partner, Dad had just died. We had a little extra dollar. My mama had a regular job. She didn't have that much money. My mama had about $10,000. So we said, okay, my mama $10,000, and we're gonna go in the nightclub.
She loaned him the money to open the nightclub.
My mama owed me $10,000. His mama loaned him whatever he needed, and we went to go buy the nightclub. We went to go see the nightclub. They invited us out and said, hey, this is the nightclub. We went to, like, oh shit, this shit nice. We were 20 years old.
Right.
They didn't know we were coming up that far. We was
not even old enough to drink.
No, they weren't even old enough to get in. They said, we went to the door, they said, you guys know, they said, no, we here to buy the club.
Wow.
And they were like,
they looking at you like.
So then when they got the manager, they said, oh yeah, these young niggas here by the club. They let us in, went right through the club, looked around like, damn, this shit legit. Man, we on this shit. They want, $20,000 back then was like $80,000.
Right, or more.
More. You know what I'm saying? This is 1990. You know what I'm saying? 91. So we had like 20 bands. A lot of niggas had 20 bands. Mama gave me 10. His mama gave me like 10, 30, whatever we needed. But whatever it was, we had the down payment. Because they just want to get out of because the feds were getting in their ass because of the murder. They about to come bust everybody. Then they killed their white lady.
No, who owned it? It was black people or white people?
Mason.
James Mason owned the club. The club was in his name.
It was in his name. He was the guy who was buying it from James Mason.
Gotcha.
He was the straw owner for the drug dealers, Fred Tokars, and all the other people who had.
He was also the straw owner for some of the clubs that Andre Willis and those guys.
All the other clubs. We had about 5 or 6. He owned a lot of clubs. He was the club. Right. He come and put a nightclub together like that. He was the king.
Okay.
When it comes to put a nightclub, he owned about 10 nightclubs in that time. And this was one of them. And this was the biggest, though. It's 2 nightclubs, Diamonds and Pearls. Beautiful. Had a big old diamond spinning around the front, though. And it was like mesmerizing. You know what I'm saying? And we went there. We had the money. It was the right timing. Everything's in time. We just spoke the word and then dropped in our hand within like a month later. I ain't got on everything I love. You know what I'm saying? And it was all because the lady got killed. But it still dropped into our hand. And Sarah Tokars. And we went, we got the nightclub, we bought the nightclub. Feds came in, took the money, stopped the sale of the damn club.
Oh, really?
Took the money and said, who these niggas is? How y'all get the money? Y'all down with them, you know what I mean? Like, we don't know what the fuck going on. We didn't know all that shit. We connected that time with Sarah Tokar. We didn't know Fred Tokar was involved. That didn't come out yet. You know what I'm saying?
That didn't come out for like 6 months.
Exactly.
Yeah, he tried to put it on the other drug dealers that he was associated with.
Exactly. So nobody knew all Fred was involved in the nightclub. We didn't know all this. They knew it was about to come down because they knew who all had their hands involved. Right. Feds knew because they knew Fred had his hands in the nightclub. They knew all the shit. Because Fred hadn't even been locked up at the time. Right. You know what I'm saying?
So he's still saying somebody killed my wife. It was this scumbag. Exactly. Shot the wife in front of his 2 kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Blew a brains out. Brain matter all over the kids. One was in the front seat, one was in the back.
Yep. Fucked the kids up. One of the kids dead to this day right now. Wow. He killed himself. You know what I'm saying? But that's how it worked out in the end. You know what I'm saying? So that's what. So we got the night. So the feds came in, snatched the money
that y'all put in for the club.
We put up for the money. We had some lawyers, a Jewish lawyer, Lambros, his name, and Michael Lambros is a good guy. He came in, he knew the owners, because the owners of the place, Half Point Enterprise, they still own right now with public.
The owners of the building. Okay, so y'all buying the club, not the building.
We're buying the club, not the
business.
building.
Y'all buying the business.
Yeah.
Right.
So the club, but the feds came in and stopped that deal. They ain't buying this shit. Right. We got our money back from the feds.
Oh, you did?
Our lawyer proved that. We didn't know what the fuck going on. We had a clause in the contract said this shit ain't legit. That's a good lawyer. We get our money back. Wow. We showed the lawyer that. We showed the what's the name that. They about maybe 6 months later they gave our money back.
Okay.
But the lawyer happened. They were all Jews. Knew the owners. He called the owners of the building up, and basically because they canceled the lease after that shit went down with the Fed. They canceled the lease of James Mason. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
We came in and then got the lease. From directly, because we happened to have a sublease, we came in and got the direct lease from the motherfucking goddamn from the owner of the building and took a lease out of damn self, gave them that money. Already had the club set up in the inside because they just left. James Mason did come back around and say, "Hey, we're gonna come in and take all our stuff out." You know what I'm saying? Unless y'all want to lease it from us. We wound up leasing the equipment and everything in the club from James Mason, but we had to lease ourselves. So we changed the name of the club. Instead of calling it Diamonds and Pearl, we called it Diamonds Phase 2 and then Silk. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
and that's Diamonds and Silk. Diamonds Phase 2 and Silk. Yeah, and that's how we did it. And then we wound up having the largest nightclub in Atlanta in Buckhead. You know what I'm saying? At a time when really there were no clubs in Buckhead. Right. Other than James Mason, he was the patriarch of making shit like that happen in the city. There were no niggas in Buckhead. It was all white people. But we were probably like the second or third black person up in Buckhead in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? After we did that. But it was all because of James Mason. It wasn't nothing to do with us.
Incredible.
You know what I'm saying? But that's how we got the nightclub, man.
Wow. So how was the nightclub life for you?
Nightclub life changed my life. That's why I still do the nightclub to this day. I was already a nightclub guy. Because we was hanging out with the drug dealers in the nightclub, niggas was popping bottles before BMF and all them niggas. I got popping Dom Perignon every night.
Original bottle popper.
They was real drug dealers, real money, real popping bottles. Nobody couldn't win no sections and all that. They had their own section just like this in the whole back of 112 every weekend. Nobody couldn't come get it. It was just only us. It was the strictly business crew. You know what I'm saying? We was all strictly business. That's what I was part of. That's what they were, but I happened to be a part of it because we was all down. Because Kilo was part of strictly business. I'm down with strictly business because the business is so strict. That was our crew.
Y'all basically had a key to the city.
We had the key to, well, yep, in Barn Hall. Ran down, that's our town.
And in the nightclub life, and all that, y'all doing whatever y'all want to do.
When no hood niggas in Buckhead except the strictly business crew. We ran, you know what I'm saying? It was in 112 every weekend. I met my baby mama, my 2 kids. Mama met her at 112.
Wow.
And she was in there, and I met her at 112 while hanging out with my crew. And she's still around to this day, still work for me. But yeah, so that's how I met my baby mama in 112. You know what I'm saying? And but yeah, that's how all that came. Yeah, but the nightclub business, by being in a nightclub, that's why I kind of like, even when I'm doing my stuff now, like my business now, I include the nightclub, incorporate into the thing. People don't realize, like, when I do a party, I don't do a party just like I'm doing a Christmas party. I do it fucking like a nightclub. You know what I'm saying? Like a party. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's what a lot of people don't understand. But like they think they can do it, but I've been doing this shit for goddamn 30 years. Right. Into me. You know what I'm saying? They don't be understanding, but I've been throwing parties. I've been putting shit together. I've been doing rap groups. You know what I'm saying? But so that's how that took place with all that, and that's how the nightclub stuff. That's how I still get included into all my stuff that I do now. I'm still in the entertainment business.
Right.
Yeah.
That's dope. You learned it from the ground up, and you just been doing it, so it comes natural to you.
It's come natural to me. Yep.
That's awesome. So how long did you keep the Diamonds Phase 2 and Silk?
Diamonds, that lasted about 2 years, man. Okay. And my partner, we fell out over some bullshit.
Were y'all making money in it?
We was making money. Freaknik, we did one Freaknik at the club, you know what I'm saying? And that worked out. We weren't making money because we didn't know about the nightclub business. Shit it's like the way Mason had it set up. It was a setup for a drug dealer to wash money through.
Gotcha.
It wasn't really set up to make money. V103 cost $10,000 a fucking week just to be on the fucking radio.
Okay.
Shit wasn't, you know what I'm saying, wasn't goddamn feasible unless you had a drug dealer.
She had some extra.
You know what I'm saying? She had something extra. We had to pay Jane Mason $10,000 a month.
For the equipment.
For the equipment. Had to pay the club $20,000 for the lease. You know, back then it was a huge air club. We had it was 2 nightclubs in one.
Taking all your money,
taking all
the expenses.
Yeah, then we didn't know what we was doing. Only 2 nights a week, Friday and Saturday, before the promoters had came in. Like promoters have a night on Monday, night on Tuesday. When nobody popping, but Friday, Saturday, maybe.
So y'all was paying the bills, getting a lot of hoes, and having a lot of fun, and drinking a lot of alcohol.
Getting a lot of hoes, paying all the bills, and drinking a lot of. I didn't drink that. Actually, I didn't even drink back then. I started drinking. I was 28 years old.
But the crew was popping bottles.
They were popping bottles. They were popping bottles, all that stuff, throwing parties, and they actually went to jail. The Strictly Business crew, as we was owning the nightclub, they got locked up during that period of time, and they went to jail. When everybody was getting locked, 91, 92, everybody caught charges. Okay. And they went to the feds during that time. So
yeah, that's when the feds started knocking niggas' heads off. Joe Biden was writing his crime bill.
Exactly.
All of that Sentencing Reform Act, locking up all the black Americans, all that nonsense.
That's when everybody snitching and everything. So everybody went down in the period.
Wow.
One behind another.
Okay, so how'd you and your partner fall out?
Me and my partner fell out about, how did we actually fall out? Money. Okay. You know, we had the deal because they had more money because his dad died. They had more money now. We went in with a 51-49% deal.
You had 49.
I had 49. They had 51.
Because they put up a little more money.
They put a bit more money. And that killed everything because we couldn't make no decision. They made all decisions and we tried to work it out, couldn't work it out, and to the point shit went down here. Because nightclub business, shit can go through your head. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Andre Rising is a friend of mine. Everybody, all the celebrities come to my club at the time, and I was fed up with shit. I was like, nigga, I don't even want it. 49% shit ain't working out. Andre wanted it. He said, I'll buy it. I'll give you $50,000 for your 49%. I was like, shit, we put 10 up. I'll take 50 band. Andre, you can have it. They like, we ain't gonna let you sell it to them.
Your partners?
Yeah, because they own 51%.
So they was basically like, if you sell it, you got to sell it to us?
When they let me sell it, wouldn't buy it, wouldn't let us sell it. Because they had how they wrote up the deal, they lawyer, they wrote up, well, I couldn't even sell my 49%. I was just really, we were partners, but it was just a scraw deal. We fell out. I started doing some side shit, hustling shit, got locked up for goddamn counterfeiting at the time. First charge, you know what I'm saying? Counterfeiting money. Yeah, got locked up for that. That took me down. I ain't go to jail. I went to the halfway house for 6 months. By the time I did that, whole club was gone.
Oh, okay.
I got out. Club was available. It was still like just closed. I went back in to open it up with another partner. And that partner got the big head. You know what I'm saying? Before we could get it open.
Oh, God.
No. This real talk. But me and my other partner, we got together. Now he done got it here, right? He don't own the club no more.
The original partner, they had the 51%. Y'all
but we got the lease. I got the lease now because I went and got the lease with my other partner. He acting crazy. He ain't acting right. We got shit. People want to invest money. He want to be in control. Same thing. I'm going there. It ain't working out. But we got the lease. Freaknik coming up 1993, I think 93. Freaknik coming up. So this is the second time. This is going to be the next Freaknik we're doing, and we got the shit set up. It's going to be big. We on the radio. People back finna be blowing it up. We ain't got no license though.
Oh no.
We ain't got no license.
No liquor license.
No, we got looking like we still got the old one still valid, but we ain't got the business license.
Wow.
But we could have went and got all that reinstated. But we trying to do it on the table. It's still valid. All we had to do was just. Because we already had it.
Would have been nothing.
Would have been nothing because we already had it. But we're trying to be slick. And the other one hadn't expired because we still had just closed down not too long ago.
And what was the reason why? Just not knowing? Why was you trying to be slick? Why not
we just not knowing. That's not what we doing. We trying to be slick.
We're not paying no $35 for a business license.
It was just a one-night party. Freaknik. We're finna try to get back on. Try to make a quick 100 bands. You know what I mean?
Got you.
So we getting this shit. We on the radio. We pumping it. Radio going. Oh, we got it. Boom, boom. Everybody talking about it. Man, we had a partner who was a manager. He was a manager at our old nightclub that we had fired. And he heard about it. He got wind of it.
Oh, no.
And he turned us into the city.
Wow.
And about time to get there, we got a call from the city said, if y'all open up, we're going to close y'all down. There was the Friday or the Thursday right before we could have went down there and got the license straight and we could have opened up anyway. But they called us right the day where we couldn't even go do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because we had all the paperwork. All we had to do was go down there and say, we sign off on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, renew it because we were still the same owners, just a different leasing. So we could have just sign off on it. We've been good. But our dumb ass waited till they called us the last, right before we said, y'all open up tonight, we're going to close down. And when we went up there that night, the cars was flowing in and the police had it circled.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And they wouldn't let nobody. People like, how do you motherfuckers have all that? Dude, motherfuckers saying in the park, how do you motherfuckers have all that shit on the radio tomorrow? How crunk this shit was gonna be? And this shit ain't even open. The park guy saying that shit. That shit was no people just riding through the park trying to. It was gonna be lit like a motherfucker.
Yeah, that was probably the number one place everybody wanted to go to in the whole city.
In the whole city.
Coming from different states,
everywhere. Freaknik. We already did it last year. It was super huge. Last year. The line around the corner.
This would have been bigger.
It would have been bigger. It would have been bigger. This was the Freaknik of all Freakniks that year. The last one they had before they closed down.
That was 94, 93 or something like that.
93,
right?
94. Okay. They searched around the city. Wouldn't do that. Okay. 93. That was the end all.
The largest club in Atlanta.
Had the largest club in Atlanta. And they shut us down.
It's crazy.
When I said I had a mental breakdown.
I was going to ask you.
I had a mental breakdown that night, man. I had a mental breakdown. I really did. I had a mental breakdown. Threw my beeper out the car. Goddamn riding through it.
Y'all spent how much money? Y'all must have spent a lot of money.
Spent a lot of money.
Commercial, everything.
Beer. We had tubs of ice, everything ready. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah, we
yeah.
It's real talk. That's what happened.
Yeah, real talk. Everything is real.
Everything is real. So we was just sick. I was sick. Baby mama was working the door. My other baby mama working the door on the inside. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't do shit.
Did y'all go back and forth like, fuck it, we gonna open? Did y'all try and talk to the cops? No, you just...
They was out in the parking lot like, y'all ain't opening. Yeah, you saying y'all ain't doing nothing. Had the shit surrounded. We were like looking sick. And we knew somebody had to had to tell on us because they wouldn't have known. Because we had the license. We had the shit. All we had to do was get a room. So we would just open it up with the same niggas, basically. So really, only thing we had to do was just go down there and sign off, like renew everything, pay the money. It would have been good. They could have closed that down. We had already occupancy. We had everything already done. But when then, other than had the paperwork, they couldn't close it down anyway if they wanted to. Because we had all the license. Oh, you know what I'm saying? We already had the board. We already had, we just had closed down 6 months early, so our thing was able to be renewed. You know what I mean? Didn't fucking work out. Fuck the zone. You know what I'm saying? Sick. You know, we said fuck it though. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and that was just a loss. I cried. I ain't gonna lie, I think I cried that night.
Yeah, I cried too.
It was hurtful. It was hurtful, man. And
that was about the biggest day of your life.
That was the biggest day of life and the biggest turnaround. You know what I'm saying? And that 59 deal was out the door. We was back. Even Steve could work it out and you know, wow. It been the biggest nightclub in Atlanta.
It would have probably went down in the history of Atlanta. Everybody would know
exactly, everybody would have known about it, man. So that's what happened on that shit, man. Then the next year, I opened up another nightclub.
Oh, you did?
Called the Endzone.
Okay.
It was in the hood. Same thing. We had Freaknik the next year. P Diddy. This year, P Diddy. This is the first time I ever met P Diddy. Yeah, first time I ever met him. I had a friend named I can't remember the guy's name. I can't remember his name, but he introduced we had met him at the other nightclub, and he knew everybody. This motherfucker knew everybody. He was like
your friend.
The friend. He went to Morehouse, and he knew everybody. Everybody was a celebrity at that time. He knew him. When nobody he didn't know. It was for celebrities. He knew him. So we were doing Freaknik, and P Diddy was in town. And we was going on the radio to promote Freaknik. I said, shit. He said, I can get y'all Puff Daddy time. I can get y'all Puff Daddy to come to the radio station, promote the shit. He just want to say a few words about whatever he doing. I said, cool. Bring him on. Let's get him. So he brought, so we met at the restaurant like 8 o'clock, B103. Ryan Cameron's he was on nighttime that time. And we brought him in the station. And then P Diddy got in the station along with Kevin Wells. I don't know if you know Kevin Wells.
I know Kevin Wells.
But Kevin Wells was with him. And he was riding ninjas throughout the city doing Freaknik.
Oh, K Wells and P Diddy.
And P Diddy,
yeah. Puff Daddy at the time.
Yeah, Puff Daddy at the time. So they came up, they pulled up on the ninjas. I met him outside. I said, what's up, man? I said, man, good to meet you. I already knew K Wells because he would have been down. He went from the hood.
Atlanta, right?
Yeah, so I already
College Park, right?
Yeah, College Park, SWAT, going home, all that shit. So I knew him, so hey, what's up, K? You know what I'm saying? Boom. I said, what's up, Diddy? You know, boom, boom, boom. You know, Puffy. You know, took him in down to the station, got inside. Ryan Cameron's in there. Ryan said, man, it's good to finally meet you. I'm like, Ryan don't know goddamn P Diddy. I was like, I'm fucking the one who finna introduce these motherfuckers.
Right.
So I said, God damn. I said, that's some shit. You know, Ryan was working my nightclub. He was a DJ sometimes in my nightclub.
Gotcha.
So I knew Ryan, but I ain't know. He didn't know, because Ryan, they knew everybody. Always getting them motherfucking artists coming to. I thought he knew all the artists. He had never met. The first night he met P Diddy, I introduced him to him. You know what I'm saying? In Freaknik 94. So got in there, P Diddy. I said, P Diddy, the deal was, I'm going to split my night with you, but you got to say you're going to be there at my nightclub, the Endzone, boom, boom, boom.
You and Diddy?
Me and Diddy. That's the deal we had cut for him to go on my radio.
Oh, gotcha.
Just tell him, promote my shit, saying you're going to be there, and you come through once it start popping. You know, just show up, show your face, we split the money, because, you know, boom, boom, boom. So he did. He hey, I'm going to be at the Endzone tonight, boom, boom, boom.
Where was the Endzone?
Endzone, right across the street from, in the West End, behind what do they call them projects? Used to be up there. I can't remember the name of them. Probably they tore them down, but it was in the West End. So it was now a little nightclub. You know what 559 was?
Yeah.
It was on the other side. We were supposed to be buying 559.
I remember 559.
But 559, the guy wouldn't cut me the deals. I had told him I had just got locked up and had just got out. You know, the Hathaway House, I had a white boy was my investor. He liked the white boy, but he's like, son, what's up with this guy? He don't put his name on them, but everybody put their name on. Who is he? The owner of 559 want to know. He didn't want to sell it to the other guys who were getting 559. He didn't want to rent it. He wanted to rent some legit people. He knew them other guys was what's they on Blue Flame them.
Okay.
They were his son, so he didn't want to rent them. He knew everybody know everybody. So I don't want to rent. I already know some more bullshit gonna be going if I rented them. But he didn't rent to us. Something went down. No, we found the other club around the corner. No, the guy who owned Montrese. He owned the little other club. We just said, we're going to take this. He ain't giving no problem. He asked no fucking question.
Right.
This nigga a gangster. He don't give a fuck who renting. Right. I said, fuck 559. We're going around here. You know what I'm saying? We went around the corner, got that club, and then they went on and did 559 at the same time. So he wound up giving it to them instead of, because we said, fuck it, and we went around the corner. But we opened that up, the Endzone. P Diddy, did the promotion on the club. Said, come on the Endzone. Got to the Endzone, we had the fence around, they had the music outside, DJ outside. This the year that the State Patrol blocked off all the exits for every
Because they wanted to fuck it up for people.
They fucked it up for everybody. They blocked out all.
They effectively ended.
They ended it that year.
I remember
they
that.
blocked off all the exits, every exit, everybody would ride around in a circle.
Yeah.
On 285,
Right.
20.
People would come from all over the country, so they don't know what the fuck.
But they couldn't get off. Couldn't get off nowhere in Atlanta. They blocked off all exits.
Right. They didn't have Waze and Google Maps.
You could walk or whatever.
Where you could figure it out.
I'll leave you call the expressway. Walk down and walk. You could have did that.
Right.
There wasn't no Waze, when none of that shit back then. So really, at that point, when they blocked them exits off, it was a wrap. So they blocked the exits off. Everything got killed. Nobody had a goddamn point. I don't know nobody who was successful that night because they blocked out every exit and pretty much killed Freaknik that night. And that's what happened. P Diddy never showed up. Next morning, we made probably about, only people who was able to get that people who lived in the neighborhood. Probably about 100 people showed up to the party. I made about $2,000.
Oh, you still made something?
I made about $2,000, which we lost, but because it was Puff Daddy, my partner said, man, fuck that nigga, we ain't making $2 grand, man, don't get that nigga shit. I said, no, nigga. I said, this Puff Daddy, motherfucker. I said, we got to go pay him. I said, we said we're going to split the money with him. He would have did it on the radio. We got to go split the damn thing. It's bigger. I said, bigger than the motherfucking $1,000. You know what I'm saying? I said, let's go take the nigga $1,000. That's what it is.
You were different back then.
I was different back then.
Because you wanted to honor your word.
And I knew the fuck P Daddy was. I was like, this nigga finna be bigger. I already could see where this motherfucker was going. You know what I'm saying? I said, we ain't finna fuck this motherfucker. Nigga, this is our way in. Nigga, we crazy. Let's go pay him. I said, the next morning I got up, I called him, I said, hey man, be honest with you. I fucked the shit up. We made $2 grand. I said, I got you $1,000. I come bring it to you if you want me to. You know what he said?
What?
I'm at the Swiss Hotel.
Bring it.
I went down. This is the last time I had any kind of business dealing with him because, you know, I went another way. At that point, after 2 Freakniks, I'm like, I'm done with the nightclub business. This is what I said to myself. I said, I'm finna start doing accidents full time. You know what I'm saying? And I'm finna just start, because I was making money. That's how I had the money to do Freaknik, get the club, because I was making money in the accident game. And then I had a partner, you know what I'm saying, who had money. We had a little extra change because we were making money from goddamn, you know, getting doctors' cases. So I said, you know what, I'm just gonna go full time, getting cases, getting an ambulance chaser, basically. And so I went down to Swiss Hotel, basically, and I met Peppy, went into his room. He was sitting on the bed. I said, hey man, here you go, man. He said, man, I appreciate it. Dapped him up. He said, man, hey, man, let me know if you need me again. Hit me up. I said, man, I'm going to hit you up if I need you. Walked out the room. I was like, man. But I probably could have did anything I wanted to do with Puffy because he knew I would pay. You know what I'm saying? Because I went down there and I paid him. But I was done with that business. I was done with it. You know what I'm saying? I had just did the Goody Mob. I left that out. We had fell out with them motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, you know what? I'm doing with the entertainment business. I'm doing with the music business. I know I'm getting paid doing this goddamn accident shit. I'm going to stick with that shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just going to get cases. And I started getting cases ever since then, man. I just getting cases. And that was my life. Raised all my kids, getting accident cases, just getting a case here, getting a case there, getting, you know what I'm saying, and send them to doctors and lawyers.
I got to ask you something because I didn't want to stop you because, you was giving us so much of the good historical background of Atlanta in the 90s, Freaknik, all of the stuff that you was involved in with the nightclub. I didn't realize that you were like one of the pioneers that helped put, all of this hip hop and nightclub business and everything on the map in Atlanta. Yeah. But you did mention something I got to ask you about because it's some of Atlanta's own. Mm-hmm. You mentioned Goody Mob,
yep, and
that you fell out with them.
Well, I'm gonna say it because I want to make that clear too, because I'm not the guy to fall out with a lot of people. So I'm gonna make that clear. We had did Kilo. We was we had been tied to the music game. We had tried some little side groups. I happened, like I told my mama, right before we did the nightclub, we had I went to high school with the Goody Mob. We all graduated high school together, at least 3 of us. From Mays High School. CeeLo, he was in high school with us as well, but he was a little younger than us. But all of those 4 guys, Gip, Cujo, Timo, and Gip and CeeLo, all of us went to high school.
Organized Noise was the producers, right? So Stevie Brown went to there.
Stevie Brown went there, exactly. So it's funny because Rico Wade, Organized Noise, when I talk about the hair salon, Rico, them used to do hair as well. He used to be doing hair before he had started. Wow. Y'all had a song called You Boys. It was Rico Wade and a couple of guys in the group called You Boys. And they used to come to the salon that I told you all the drug dealers and rappers. It's crazy because That's how Atlanta's connected. Again, all the drug dealers, the guys who was in the accident game, the people who was doing music, always to come before we go to the nightclub to come get their finger waves or whatever done. And so all the salon people who did hair knew Rico, and we all from the same hood too, but they knew him from doing hair, and Rico them just come to the thing, and that's how I met Rico.
Wow.
By being the U-Boys and coming to the salon. So Rico came to the nightclub, we owned it, and we had already been working with Goody Mob, but they went to high school, they wanted us to manage them because we had just got the nightclub, and they thought we was moving, you know what I'm saying? They ain't making y'all, manager. We're like, shit, yo, we don't manage y'all. There was the Lumberjacks at the time. And
that's what they call them, the Lumberjacks?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
No, I'm sorry. There was the Goody Mob.
Okay,
I apologize. It was the Goody Mob. I apologize. It was a Goody Mob. And when we got them, we said, you know what, man? Because everything we were rapping about was about being Lumberjacks. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So we got them like they were the Goody Mob, but we were like, man, we're gonna call them the Lumberjacks. You know what I'm saying? They were Timo and Cujo. We're gonna call them the Lumberjacks, you know what I'm saying? And so we had them, we put them on, we getting them, all kind of shows.
Y'all had them?
Yeah, we managers, so we're doing all kind of shit with them. And Guilt, they were the East Side Chain Gang or something like that. They had another little rap group. Guilt don't was. But Rico came to the nightclub. had just got outcast. They said, yeah, man, we in the nightclub. We running. I'm feeling myself. I'm 21 years old. Got the largest nightclub in Atlanta. Rico, they ain't really did shit right now. They did a few, production, but then now they just got to deal with LaFace for $250,000. Wow. They come to us. We got the largest nightclub. I'm like I'm big time. Like I'm feeling myself. Like yeah, man.
You popping your collar?
I'm popping my collar. So I'm feeling. They like yeah, man. We about to do a couple of rap. We just got to deal with LaFace. It's $250,000. That's a lot of money back then. All right, cool, boom, boom, boom. And we want to do the Goody Mob. They're going to be our second group. We're going to do Outkast first. You know what I'm saying? We done been in the dungeon and all that before then, because I know Rico. We down in the dungeon seeing Outkast down there. We didn't know who the fuck they were, but they down in the basement, rapping and shit. We got our group down there who we had with my cousins, and we down in the dungeon, letting them hear, let's see what the organized know is doing, because they invited us down. So we know, they doing popping their thing. They ain't got no shit out yet. You know what I mean? But he come and said, man, we're finna do the Outkast first, and then Goody Mob gonna be our now next, group. We like, well, I'm like, oh shit, nigga, let me know when y'all ready. You know what I'm saying? Hi. I'm like, right now, y'all ain't ready. I appreciate you coming in here. But let me know when y'all ready. Then hey, I'm ready to go too. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I'll see y'all later. Come back to the club next week. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we took it. So boom, boom, boom. We still doing, the Lumberjack. We still handling it. We got Freaknik coming up. We doing shows and shit. Everybody coming out of the club to do their little presentation. We got every major record label coming out of nightclubs. I'm like, I ain't hear all that shit. We got Universal coming. We got all the big record coming. We want to just do showcases in our clubs. Right. So we like, I'm like, I don't hear you about to come out, nigga. We got motherfuckers out. I'm just being real. We got niggas out coming. They paying us to do showcases at my nightclub. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I don't want to hear that shit. Let me know when you're ready. But 6 months, a year later, that's when I told you I had my little ran with the law. I got jammed up. I ain't go to jail in there, but I still was out of commission. You know what I'm saying? So I had to take a break. All this shit going on. I got the goddamn, this is real talk. So I got, like I said, I got all kind of people coming. I got Jermaine Dupri. We did his 21st birthday at my nightclub. We were doing that. JD, he cool with me because he coming to my nightclub. Y'all meet Andre Rising, Left Eye, all of them. I'm at Andre Rising house every weekend with Left Eye. Yeah.
You're the star.
I got Tupac at my nightclub.
You're the celebrity.
I'm a celebrity at times. I don't want to hear none of that shit. You feel me? I got Tupac at my nightclub. We kicking Tupac out the nightclub because he's smoking. We know at first you couldn't smoke no weed in your nightclub.
That was like crack.
That was like crack. So Tupac in the club smoking weed and shit. We like, so I'm like putting Tupac out my nightclub. I'm like, no, you can't smoke. No, you can't smoke no weed. We putting Tupac out some weed. But you know what I know about Tupac? I take a little pause. That motherfucker always took his sauce. He said, yeah, y'all ain't got to leave. Because he was with Andre and Left Eye. He said, y'all ain't got to leave. He said, I was the one with smoking weed. I get the fuck on. That motherfucker always was a stand-up motherfucker. When I go back and think about it, I ain't thinking nothing of it back then. But once the years came by and I saw who this motherfucker was, I said, that motherfucker always took his shit.
He was a real dude.
He was a real motherfucker. He said, man, I was smoking with y'all and y'all can stay. You know, I never forget he said, don't worry. He told Andre, look, y'all can stay. It was me. I got caught. I'll leave. You know what I'm saying? Wow. Next time I saw Tupac, it was at 112 before they moved to the new club that we got. To the new club that we had first. They was over in Peat Mountain. That's when I saw Andre. He was with Tupac in a Monte Carlo. Him and Tupac. Andre was driving the old ass school Monte Carlo. Tupac was on the right side. They were going at 112. That shit was some cool ass shit. That last time I saw Andre and Tupac together. But they was to hang with each other. They say Tupac was fucking left out. I don't know, but Tupac was an honorable dude. I couldn't see him doing that to Andre because he was hanging with Andre.
Because that was Andre's girl, right?
It was Andre's girl. Yeah. Now he knew that nigga fuck with goddamn Andre. So I don't think that would happen, but he never know what a motherfucker would do. But Tupac was a stand-up guy. But so I'm feeling myself. I really care about what a motherfucker say. I'm dealing with all these celebrities every night. Every Friday night, I got nothing but celebrities in my nightclub. You know what I'm saying? So I'm feeling like a fucking celebrity at 21 years old. Right. So I don't really want to hear this. I'm like, all right, Rico, I know your brother right now. You ain't got no deal time. I ain't tell them that, but I'm like, well, just let me know y'all. You know when y'all, when y'all get ready. You know when we ready. You know what I'm saying? So I said, you know, I did that. I kind of fell off a little bit because that's when we a little bit after that, me and my partner fell out. Club went down. You know what I'm saying? Club went out. Then I got my little trouble. Had to tend to that. Downtown that. Outkast came out. It's like everything was just happening at lightning speed. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I could have probably been managing Outkast, everybody at the time. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? I'm on another level right now because I got the largest nightclub in Atlanta. I'm feeling myself. My head going. I got the Goody Mob. We ain't really worried about them. We got this other group who doing shit. Them niggas raw. These niggas funk. I'm listening to nigga and Goodie Mob. We had a showcase of Freaknik showing everybody when the showcases come down the club. We got them niggas on stage. Goodie Mob on stage. I put them niggas on stage. Goodie Mob performed. Then they performed. Goodie Mob heard them niggas like, them niggas raw. The Goodie Mob said when they heard them, you know what I'm saying? They listening to niggas on the stage playing the guitar, doing the funk. They rap.
Who was this dude?
Shit, what's the name of this group? I can't think.
Okay, but it's another group.
It's another group.
It was your group. Gotcha. You didn't say the name.
I can't remember the name right now.
No, I didn't know if I missed it. But
the guy name was Push. I can't remember the name they called it.
Gotcha.
But the guy was named Pusha DeVille. And they was rapping. They would be playing the guitar. Them niggas was just like so fucking raw. Dude, it was like funkified. You know, they weren't saying funkified. They were just like singing all the funk shit with rapping this shit, right? And I'm like, these niggas ready. Goodie Mob, I said, this is what I swear to God I said. And I said this shit first time I heard CeeLo, and I heard all of them together. And because they had women rapping together. Because I knew my group was okay, but it was more like a what they call it, a niche.
Underground?
Niche.
Gotcha.
You know, until I heard CeeLo.
Alternative.
Yes, alternative. I said, they a niche. They're good. They go gold. This was exactly what I said. I said, but they ain't gonna be. These ain't no platinum. I said, these niggas platinum motherfuckers.
Talking about Goody Mob.
No, not Goody Mob. Goody Mob wasn't no platinum to me. CeeLo, I said, now CeeLo.
Specifically CeeLo.
I said, CeeLo. That's what I told him. I said, CeeLo. I heard him. I said, now CeeLo. That nigga going places. I swear to God, I remember saying it. I said, I hope they don't hear this. This is what I said. True. I said, CeeLo, this nigga going somewhere. That nigga there, I said, they don't recall ever graduating at all. When I heard that nigga in the Outkast shit, you know what I'm saying? I said, this nigga going somewhere. This nigga finna be a star. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I said. I said, but Goody Mob, knew my guy. I said, it was Lumberjack. It was just CeeLo. Lumberjack was just Cujo and Timo. I said, they good. I said, but they ain't no CeeLo. I said, but these other rap group that we fucking with, these funk niggas, I said, them niggas ready. We just need some of him. So my dumb man, we had Diamonds and Pearls. Jermaine Dupri, he come out there every night, just driving through the parking lot, whatever. We stopped him. We said, JD had a picture. We had the whole package. You know, back then we had the little package with the pictures and all that shit with the CD. I said, hey, man, I want you to hear these niggas, man. So I'm like, I want you to hear these niggas. These niggas, I gave him the CD. I said, take the CD, listen and let me know what you say. And he came back 24 hours later. He said, them motherfuckers raw as fuck. He said, who them niggas is?
Gotcha.
He said, who these niggas is? I said, man, these niggas from College Park. You know JD from College Park.
Right.
I said, these niggas from College Park, man. I said, man, these niggas got that sound, man. He said, who are they? I said, I gave him the picture. I had the package. I said, The nigga looked through it. He said, oh, them niggas. Kind of dropped his head. Like, damn. Yeah, I know them niggas. I think he went to high school with them. I don't know. But all I know, he dropped his head like he ain't interested in it. He said it was wrong, but he dropped his head like, oh, them niggas. Like, he don't fuck with them. You know what I'm saying? For whatever reason.
You never found out?
I never found out. But he said he didn't say, oh. He said, all right, I'll look into it. Never heard from that nigga again about them niggas. But I know it's on everything I love. 6 months later, after we gave him that motherfucking CD, the brat had been coming to our club since we opened it up. She was about 15 years old, maybe 16. She was in our nightclub all the time. Cause we just let her in, cause we the brat with JD. JD wasn't even 21. JD same age as me. He was 22. He just turned 21 at my nightclub. We gave him the party. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So he wasn't old enough to get in, but he was coming. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so, but the whole point was, I gave that nigga that CD. I swear, man, 6 months later, when I heard this shit, them niggas who we were dealing with, them niggas, we thought these niggas were crazy. Cause we was like, them niggas, we didn't fuck with them niggas. Them niggas like was so crazy, we ain't like to deal with them. And so that shit came out Funktified. I said, Funktified. I said, Colin, you hear this shit?
Say it ain't so.
Say it ain't so. No, I told the niggas, I said, Colin, you hear this shit? I said, the nigga stole our shit.
JD stole Funktified from you.
No, look, he ain't stealing from me. He stole it from them niggas.
But them niggas, they were your group,
It was
weren't
my group. You know what I'm saying? It was my group.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
It's the same thing. But
I ain't gonna let him slide on that.
Look, don't let him slide on. But look, if y'all hearing this, I never told this story ever again because we were so scared of them niggas. We were scared to tell them we gave that damn CD to JD.
Oh, the artist.
They don't know that shit to this day. They know now.
Holy shit. They know now when they see this.
When they see this, they gonna know. We gave that CD.
You imagine?
I can imagine.
They gonna be like, holy shit.
Yep.
So who they gonna come looking for, you or
JD? For doing that dumbass shit. But we ain't
I'm sure y'all can work it out.
but we was doing that shit trying to get them niggas on. Right. But we had no idea they had a background with JD and that cause they knew obviously they knew JD and JD knew them.
Nah, but it's JD y'all gotta go looking for JD because this man was trying to get y'all on. He was the one that stole it.
I know this for a fact. JD wasn't doing no funk music until we gave him that motherfucking goddamn CD. And then that nigga started doing funk music with Damn the Brat. And the Brat was the first platinum motherfucking selling motherfucking female artist at that time of all fucking time with rap music. And Funktified did it. And that shit was a fucking hit. Wow, I'm so Funktified. Period.
Yeah. Y'all got the background story. We just pull the curtain back and that's real.
Talk. And look, and JD say it ain't so, tell me a motherfucking lie. That's the fucking honest to God truth. And I go to my grave on it. And that's the truth. That's what happened in my parking lot, my nightclub.
Wow.
Yeah.
I appreciate you sharing that.
Yeah, it's real time. And I don't share that lightly because I don't like to bring back the past. Right. And I swear, the only reason I'm telling that now is 25 years ago, probably almost. Yeah, over 30 years ago, because I was 21. Over 30 years ago. And that's why I'm telling that story now. Because I tell that story in because, number one, I told you, we were scared of them dudes. Because we were like, man, we tell them nigga we get that. And that shit, we told them nigga that shit was playing. We told them that shit was a hit. We knew them niggas would come up with some new shit. We like, man, that shit old on here. I said, nigga, that shit ain't old. Nigga, that shit is on the radio every fucking day. Nigga, but Brett singing that shit every day. We know we gave it to him. That shit good. And they kept saying it was old and nobody had never heard it. Except JD, and he got them did it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know that nasty shit goes on in the music business. It goes on in the music business, yeah. You telling us that it really happened?
Yeah, so moving past that. So we was with them, we had the Goody Mob. I got in a little trouble. I put the Goody Mob on pause because I had to handle my trouble. By the time I got out, Outkast was out. By the time I got out, they had been on Outkast album. Not got out, but just getting back into the groove. You know what I'm saying?
Goody Mob had been on Outkast album.
Had been on Outkast. It was the second group. He came to my club and said, hey, I'm doing the second group.
He's ready now.
So I put them in Outkast. They introduced them in the Outkast album. In the Outkast album, CeeLo did I don't recall ever graduating at all. Get Up Out and Get Something. And then the other two guys did another song. I can't think of, but it was in there. And then that's how the Goody Mob basically came together. And then they did the next album, which was Goody Mob, when that was on Cell Therapy. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Together. And that's when Cell Therapy came out. I had a contract on them, of course. We had a contract. Cell Therapy came out. I'm thirsty. I'm greedy. Before I could even get it going good, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey, give me my money back. You know what I'm saying? I invested in y'all, did all this. basically sued him. No, hey,
Goodie Mob.
I sued the Goodie Mob.
Wow.
I sued Goodie Mob for my money back. We did a little mediation because that was part of the contract. I won. It wasn't even a big deal because we had the contract. We had invested money. Everybody knew it. We settled out for like 30 bands. Win a lot of shit. I should have waited. Because I had a contract for like 5 years, but I did it too fast. And if I would have waited, I probably got more. It probably been better. But I was so thirsty, didn't know no better. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And the crazy part about it, we hadn't fell out at that time. They really probably would have still let me manage them because they came to my other nightclub, the endzone. Probably would have been a big, but I didn't know no better. Like I said, my granny never told me about investments. He never told me about working with people. He never told me I had to do that. I had a feeling, I knew it, but it wasn't then embedded into my heart or my spirit, just like topical. And I call everything before I went to prison, I call it topical knowledge because it hadn't really had nothing that was deep down inside.
It's just on the surface.
It's on the surface level. That's what I call it. I said, man, everything I did some great shit on the nightclub. You know what I'm saying? Another nightclub, all topical.
I like that.
All topical. Yeah. Nothing like
That's
embedded in when nothing embedded in like principle. Nothing at all. And moving forward, I started doing the accident game, made a lot of money. And then one day we had this police officer. I was getting cases legitimate. Every time we just get them, working in the police department, got an accident, take them to the lawyer, got them pay. Then we got a police
for different lawyers or one law firm?
No, different lawyers, same one. It was a good thing. Get a case, everything legit. We take them to the lawyer. There was a hurt. We take doctor. Get paid. Boom, boom, boom. Then one day we had this lawyer. I'm sorry, not the lawyer. This police officer. His name was, never forget his name was D-Law.
D-Law, that was his actual name.
His actual name was
and he was a police officer, so he really thought he was D-Law.
That's why I never forget his name, because he thought he was D-Law. That's why he was working at the headquarters, but he was on administrative leave already. We used to get our cases from the headquarters, people going to pick up their police reports. And we used to wait on him, hey, you need some help, we can help you get paid, we know lawyers, da, da, da. But this guy, he didn't like us working down there talking to the people who've been in accident. He was D-Law. And he got more arrests down at police headquarters by arresting guys who was working trying to get cases. Then he turned the police headquarters into a crime scene because anytime he was out there soliciting, talking to people, lock you up for soliciting, lock you up for this, lock you up for that.
That's what lock you up for solicitation?
No, this is after the counterfeiting stuff. This is like I got a lot of solicitation for soliciting clients.
But I'm saying he was locking up multiple people for solicitation when they were really just trying to get clients to help people.
Wow. Because he was D-Law. You couldn't get nothing past. He didn't like it because we were down there. What y'all doing out hanging at the police department? Talking to people. In his mind, we were scamming them. No, nigga, we actually helping people who've been involved in legitimate accidents. They can get paid if they're injured. But he couldn't see that, so he would be hiding in the car. Snoop down. Swear to God. I said, you know what? I'm sick of this shit. You know what I'm saying? I said, I'm going to be down here fighting with this clown every day, getting locked up for solicitation.
So give me the game on that, though. I don't mean to cut you off. Give me the game on that. So wait a minute. So you guys would how you go to the police?
Because they would pick up police reports.
Because they come to pick up the police report. So that's where you would go to target people to be able to get cases.
Get cases.
Wow.
Yeah. So we'll talk to them. We'll wait on them. They come out with the police report. Say, hey, you've been in an accident. We can help you get paid.
Does it still work like that?
Still work like this to this day. It's still happening. Still going on. People still do it every day. You go down there right now, you're gonna probably get talked to a guy who's working and try to take him to an attorney who's been in an accident. It's happening this day. It happens all the time. It's been happening probably every state.
Because they're always gonna go to the police station.
You get the police
station to get the police report.
Yeah, exactly. People who are not online, probably less people because people get it offline now.
Right.
But back then, you couldn't win no online. You had to go down there. But people still to this day work down there.
When I go get a police report, I still go down there and get it. Exactly. So you see them coming out with it in their hand, you know they got a police report.
And you talk to them. Well, this guy named D-Law was on administrative leave, already doing some dumb shit.
Right.
And because he was the police of all police.
Right.
And so he would basically go down there and he would wait on you and he would hide in the car. You supposed to be in there on administrative leave, just waiting to go back to the force.
Right.
But he's down there and they looked at this motherfucker. They eventually fired him because he had racked up more arrests at the police headquarters and he had racked up on the street.
He was doing too much.
He was doing too goddamn much. They wound up eventually firing him. He did way too much. You know what I'm saying? So they eventually fired him. You know what I'm saying? He got a job. But that guy, I can say he drove me, but I was like sick of dealing with him. That was our space. We get all the money. I hustle. Go out there and get real cases. All right, man, I just goddamn make up me some fucking accidents. Fuck this motherfucker. It's easy.
That's literally how it happened.
That's how I started back
That's what I'm
into
saying.
the grind of it. You know what I'm saying? I said, I just make up these fucking accidents. I got to deal with this.
Yeah, this nigga put me through too much.
Too much. They get some legitimate. So we started playing on, faking them and getting them together. And that's how eventually I got back into the game of doing the fucking shit the wrong way.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And eventually.
And it was D-Law that got you into
I ain't gonna say it was D-Law.
He was a contributor.
He was a contributor that drove us there. You know what? It's too hard. You go down here and get them, you know what I'm saying, legitimately. You know what I mean? It was other ways we could have done it, but this was a short back. We've been doing it for over 10 years. Go down there. We go down there, we get 3 cases a week. We're going to make $3,000 a week or $2,000 a week. Back then, $2,000 like $5,000 or $10,000. You know,
good money.
Good money. So we go down there, make real easy money, go back home. We good, take care of my kids in the city, college, and high school, pay the clothes. It was good.
$10,000 a week today is good money.
$10,000 today is good money. We were making like $2,000 or $3,000, which was like $10,000 today. You know what I'm saying? So that's good money.
Yeah.
And it was good. We did it all the time. Guys made a living. Everybody was driving Mercedes. I wasn't driving them, but I was driving the nice car. My other guy was driving, guys who did it better were driving Mercedes and whatever. You know, they was big time guys. You know, they was doing good. That's what they did. So, after that, I ain't doing it. I met this other guy. The guy I was telling you about who introduced me to P, that named Quasar. He introduced me to another guy, the guy who wound up being my co-defendant. Met him, man. They was doing this already. You know what I'm saying? And they had been doing it on another level. They were creating
faking cases.
Right. So I met him, and he was like doing on like $500,000. This is how I started. This is my mind came into the next level of making money because I hadn't made that type of money in my life until I met him. That's why he's still my friend, even though I tell what I told you. But
right.
Even though he's my friend, but he's the first guy to let me see 400, 100,000, 200,000, 300,000. I ain't never seen that type of money. Nightclub we made money, but I never seen it one time. Like nigga just collecting checks, 100,000, 200,000. This motherfucker actually let me see that. I was like, damn, this nigga just made 400 grand, and that's all. I mean, Quasar, this guy just made 400,000. That 400,000 was like $3 million back then, maybe $4 million. So he had made 400,000. But oh shit, I'm like, this guy introduced me to Morehouse with him. So I introduced that guy. We started doing stuff. I started doing Doom. That's why I based my whole career. I ain't even go to the police department. I'm done with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just getting it like this. And we started getting it like, on the wrong way. And eventually I got caught. You know what I'm saying? We got greedy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We got greedy, kept doing too much. That was a way of life. You know what I'm saying? And it was easy. It was, you know what I'm saying? Didn't take much to do it. And eventually we kept doing it. I had a whole crew. I had, Africans. I was in bed with the Africans. I was in bed with everybody. You know what I'm saying? He was partial African, so he had all his African friends. Then I know all the Nigerians. I know everybody. I'm like,
everybody doing it.
Everybody, and they call me Slick. Now my name's Slick. So I'm the guy who do the paperwork. I'm the guy who do everything. I'm the guy who make the shit happen. I'm the guy who can get you your checks cash. I'm the guy who can do this. I'm like, Slick can do it all. I'm the man. And they name me Slick. That's my nickname. You know what I'm saying? I'm Slick.
Right, Slick.
That changed my name. I tell everybody, that's Slick. Everybody coming that. So now I be going places now and be like, hey, that's Slick. I'm like, no. Slick dead.
Right.
I have to let them know Slick dead. Slick is died in prison. He died.
Oh, now people see you from before, they be like, Slick. No, he dead.
Slick dead. Slick dead. Like, not Slick dead. I tell them that. When I first got out, niggas started calling me Slick. No. Even when I was in prison, I knew it was going to happen because people called my name. My nickname was Slick. I didn't give it to them. They gave it to me.
Right.
And I'm like,
when the streets give you a name, it's hard to get rid of it.
So when I was impressed. I'll get out. I'm going to tell niggas Slick dead. You know what I'm saying? That's what I told him. Slick had died in prison. You know what I'm saying? So I get locked up, go to prison. I had made up my mind. I said, you know what? This shit don't work.
So did you make up your mind in prison?
I made my mind before I went to prison.
When
I was going through the trial.
Okay, did you have a family at the time?
Had a family, wife,
children,
kids? Had a wife. I had 3 kids. No, I had a wife and 2 kids. My wife was pregnant when I went, so I had a wife and 2 kids. You know what I'm saying? I had another set of twins.
You catch a case.
And I catch a case.
How did that affect your family and your kids?
My kid, honestly, man, I've been doing I got nightclubs. I had 2 girlfriends. I had my baby mama. They had my wife. I'm dating them both at the same time. I'm already living the nightclub owner, the nightclub, the hustler life. You know what I'm saying? So I'm already embedded in this lifestyle. My girlfriend, I met her at 112. She worked at my nightclub. You know what I'm saying? She used to be a stripper. I never seen a stripper. She used to be a stripper. And this is my baby mama. And now I'm going to jail. We cool. We ain't cool. We all right. Then I got my wife. We cool. My wife is down like 2 flat tires. You know what I'm saying? She ain't going to do nothing but, do what I tell her to do. Got 2 kids. I'm more worried about not being able to take my kids while I'm gone. I know my wife's going to do her best to try to keep it together. She's probably not going to leave me because she's down. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so I'm not really worried about that. I'm worried about when I get out. Like, I got to be a better person. I can't jeopardize me going to prison and jeopardize my kids. That's what I'm really worried about. I got to change my life. This shit don't work. What my granddaddy said, he didn't tell it to me right. That's what I'm telling myself. I swear to God.
But you're telling yourself, you made this mindset change before you even actually had to do time, but you had to
I knew I was going to go do this. I knew I was guilty. Right. I knew I was going to have to do some time. I knew it wasn't just going to be like I did last time, halfway house, go home. It wasn't going to be that. I knew it was going to have to go. It's my second charge. I knew I was going to have to do something. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So you had a criminal mindset.
Criminal mindset.
And you went through a metamorphosis. You started changing before you even got it.
Well, I knew this had been my 3rd time I've been in trouble. I've been in trouble on 1 fed, 1 state charge. I've been skating. I ain't been going to jail. Been getting probation.
And you don't want to become a career criminal.
I don't want to become a career criminal because I see it don't work. You know what I'm saying? It ain't working. I'm like, it's the 3rd time I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble more than anybody in my family. You know what I'm saying? But everybody seemed to respect me because I'm still doing.
Because you get money.
I'm still getting money. I own nightclub. I'm the only nigga putting shit together. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I not had 1 nightclub. I had 2 clubs. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? I always got some hustle going on. Right. Everybody love me because I'm always getting to the money. Right. I'm always got some new shit going on. Right. I'm always trying. You know what I'm saying? Right. So ain't nobody saying, fuck George. I ain't never asked nobody for no money to get me out of jail. Because, you know what I'm saying? I'm always like, because I don't never really get that much trouble. But I'm in trouble. Right. So I'm like, I'm saying, I don't even want to be in trouble no more. I'm tired of being in trouble. Yeah, so I'm like, when I go, if I do have to go, because I didn't want to go, I could have told on everybody. I had a lot of Africans to tell on. I had a lot of people to tell on. My partner was involved. I could have told on him. I said, you know what? Mom said, did it, nigga, go do your time. Right. Zoop my mouth up, went and did my time. Because I thought about saying, when I get out, if I tell on everybody, nigga gonna be looking at that nigga snitch. You know, that shit big to me. That snitching shit really affects you. And it's wrong. I think if all y'all involved, especially if it ain't no life sentence attached to the shit, or some little 3 years, 2 years. I mean, nigga, 1 nigga can do that. Right. Yeah, if a nigga gonna get 20 years and we can all share a time, that might be different. Right. You know what I'm saying? But if it ain't but 5 years, I think, nigga, you gonna snitch on 2, 3 years, 5 years, you old pussy.
Do your damn time.
That ain't
you knew what you were doing.
You knew what you were doing. You know what I'm saying? But I did that. I said, that was 20 years. I don't know what I did.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. But just keeping it real.
But with 2, 3 years, I'm like, I could do that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
White breaking the law for if you weren't willing to do at least that.
If we ain't willing to do that.
That's what I want to do one day, nigga. You don't want to do nothing.
You don't do nothing, nigga. You know what I'm saying? That's why I didn't choose the drug game. That's why I said the drug game ain't for me. I ain't no killer. I don't want to do no lot of time. I knew this white collar shit. If you have to do that, ain't gonna be much. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I'm looking at them niggas I know niggas out in jail made $10,000 and were doing 10 years. I know niggas made $1,000 and doing 10 years to the door in the Fed. I'm like, y'all nigga got how much for selling crack? And you had how much crack? You gave you 12 years, 13, 14 years for selling that crack. You made how much money? I'm like, nigga, I'm saying that's why I never did the dough. I said the time don't outweigh the money. Right. And I'm like, I wasn't willing to do that. So I was a drug dealer ain't for me. Right. I knew that wasn't for me. So I'm like, that ain't an option. So I chose, if I want to do it, I'm going to do some white collar shit. I did the white collar shit and I did it. I didn't get much time. And I said to myself, I don't even want to do no time. I don't want to be involved when they can give me any kind of time no more. I got to get my mind right. You know what I'm saying? So I went to the prison. The first day I got to tell this story a lot. It was important, man. Because I'd already made my mind up. I was scared as fuck. I didn't know Did you know, Fitz, when you was there, did you know it was going to be like it was?
No, hell no. I was worried. I used to see eyes and all the stories. I asked some people, like, hot dog, the nigga gonna be trying to rape me. I gotta have a knife when I go to sleep. That's what I'm thinking. I've never been in trouble before.
I never
I'm
been in
thinking
jail.
it's a killer film when I get there.
So that's what I'm thinking. So I get to Maxwell, and I didn't did my research. There was no Google. You can just Google. It was out there, but it wasn't like it is now. You just Google and tell you how sweet it was. I had heard about the prison camps, but I didn't know what I was going on. I thought that was a big, millionaires and niggas who like diplomatic
status and all that type of shit. Political crimes
and shit. I said, that's cool. I heard about the camp. Play golf while you're there. I said, that ain't me. I ain't going. They gonna send me somewhere else. But I got there. I pulled up. I said, that's an Air Force. I didn't even know this. I know they told me I was going to Maxwell.
Right.
They didn't say I was going to Maxwell Air Force Base.
Right.
Because I was going to Maxwell. Prison, FPC.
Prison camp.
So you didn't know what know the fucking Air Force Base. So I got there, army motherfuckers at the fucking front door. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, the army motherfuckers, the LPs, let us in. I'm like, okay.
Right. It might not be too
bad.
I
thought I got there, we waited outside, like 3 hours, wanted to come get us. Got in there, I let my wife kiss her, gave her some money, boom, boom, boom. And that's the thing about it, man, because I had, right before I went in, I started working back during the accident, and I had made about 10 grand. That's all I had when I went to it. I gave it to my wife, said, that's all I got. Because I hadn't really been hustling, I had been doing the illegal shit. So I had forgotten, how to do legit accidents. You know what I'm saying? I had forgotten it even existed. I swear to God. That's how your mind can fuck you up when you start studying the wrong thing. You know what I'm saying?
You was doing so much.
I had doing so much illegal shit. I had forgot the legit even existed.
Wow.
That's how I know I be feeling sorry for people, because I can understand how you can be twisted so much that you don't even think you can do the right thing. Because I literally forgot about it. I had been doing it my whole life, but I literally forgot you could do it legit. So right before my partner, who was working on my friend bid for going to City Hall, he was trying to be a councilman. He was working. His brother came to me, and he was looking at me, and I was driving my uncle's old car. He had known me. I always get money. And I was driving that old car, beat up, and he looked at me. He started laughing. My partner to this day, and he started laughing. He looked at me. He said, "Nigga, you need to start back getting some motherfucking cases, nigga." You know what he told me? I turned around, I swallowed. This is a disaster. I felt bad. He was laughing at me. He said, "You need to start against some motherfucking cases, nigga." I felt bad. Damn, that nigga right. You know what I'm saying? I said, that nigga right. And the next day I went and rented me a car. This right before I went to prison. I went and rented me a car. I had already got sentenced. I was waiting to go. I had about 6 months before I go. They were waiting. They wait for you to actually turn yourself in. They have space for you. So I said, you're right. I'm all depressed. I ain't go to prison. I'm just ain't got nothing going on. I'm just looking crazy. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no car. I have nothing. I went and rented me a car. I rented it for about a month or 2 months. I just rented a car, brand new. Got me a car, went down to the police department. Just I had been doing, what's the name?
Fuck this nigga D-Law.
D-Law gone.
Okay.
D-Law lost his job. D-Law out the precinct. He back, no, D-Law ain't got no police. I'm back in the precinct.
I'm going to get
start back getting some cases.
I know how to get this money.
I know how to get my start back getting cases. I met the doctor who I dealing with when I got up here, Dr. Slime. Started back working. I worked with him before I went, and nobody knew I got no case. I'm just working. I'm just like getting cases, bringing them to him, start making money. I made about 10 grand right before I went. I had it saved up. I had no money for it. I gave it to my wife right before I went to the home. Take the money, get the cash money. It wasn't a lot, so I had. And so I said, damn. I'm like, I had literally forgot I could do that. I had no reason. I had lost that whole spirit of getting them legit. So I didn't even know I could go back down. I went down there and started getting cases the first day. Because, I knew I had been doing it. You know what I'm saying? And I had to start making money. I started making money. Stuff started looking bright. You know what I'm saying? So I said, you know what? I'm going ahead and learn everything. I get in drama, learn everything I could possibly learn when I get to prison. I got there that day. I jumped by, give her 10 grand. Bye. She was pregnant. Left. And that day, I got this swag guy. I got this. I thought I was scared because like you said.
Right.
You know what the fuck I'm going to spend in prison. So I got there, fucking camp, no bars. You got there, no bars around the prison, no fence. On the Air Force Base, ride on, turn myself in. Just look like a fucking college to me.
Right.
I've been to college, and it reminded me kind of like the college I was at Morris Brown.
Dorm style.
Nice mattresses.
Yeah.
So I said, shit. I said, God damn, looking around, everybody talking about, you need anything? You need this? You need some toothbrushes? You need this? You got what you need? You know, you good? You know, just let me know, man. We'll take care of you. Everybody like, damn, this is different. Nobody look like no hardened criminals. Everybody look clean. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay. I said, you know, it's not gonna be so bad. I said, shit, it's sort of like college. But I didn't say college. I said, I feel like I'm at Harvard University.
Wow.
I swear to God, I say this myself. I said, I feel like I'm at Harvard. I ain't say I feel like I'm at Morehouse. I ain't say I feel like I'm at Georgia State. I ain't say I feel like I'm in college. I feel like I'm at Harvard University. That's exactly what I said to myself. And I 6 out. You know what I'm saying? Harvard always had some big thing about Harvard.
So this was your Harvard?
This is my Harvard. I said, and this is going to be my Harvard. And every day I talk to you, every day, because me and you talked all the time through that prison. And every day I made that prison my Harvard. I had guys come out while I was working out in the field. And they were like, man, why you working so hard, nigga? You making us look bad. I'm looking at nigga like, what the fuck else we got to do? Right. I'm like, nigga, we in prison, nigga. You either work or sit around and waste your fucking time and look and be a bucket on motherfuckers for no reason. Nigga, I'm fat. I'm fucking 260 pounds. I said, I can lose weight. You know what I'm saying? I can push this fucking more with a spirit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm happy that I'm not in the street and I'm this goddamn big. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I can actually do some work now, what I couldn't do when I'm enthusiastic about working. I'm enthusiastic about doing my best.
That's right.
I'm in church every day. Me and you both, we was in church. We were doing our thing. We were reading a lot. You know what I'm saying? I'm like every book I got my people. When I first got there, the guy gave me somebody. I don't know who did it. It was funny. I said, anybody got a book? He got me the Rich Dad Poor Dad. Oh, he had it laying around. I said, can I read that? And I read it. I swear to God, I never read a book.
Wow. I
went to Mays High, Southwest Middle School, Morris Brown College. I had never read an entire book in my entire life.
Until you got to prison.
Only book I got halfway running through was Malcolm X. I got halfway through. I never finished it. Right. It was a project in my school. It wanted me Malcolm X. It was kind of interesting.
Right. And
I had got to the part about Malcolm X when he said he had read the dictionary and read all.
He went to prison.
He went to prison. Yeah, this was my only book I had read. And I remember Malcolm X went to prison, and Malcolm X was a gangster. Malcolm X was a fucking goddamn motherfucking pimp. He was a motherfucking robber.
He was a thief.
Yeah. He was everything.
Right.
But Malcolm X, when I read that book, before I could finish, the part I got to, he had changed his whole life around, and he was totally transformed to the point that when the feds got ready to look into him and look into Martin Luther King, they could find shit Martin Luther King was doing. But they looked into Malcolm X. They said, this motherfucker, they call this motherfucker a goddamn motherfucking like a saint. This motherfucker is a saint. He ain't doing nothing. This nigga is fucking the real fucking deal.
And they were scared of him.
They were scared of him. They said, this nigga he ain't cheating on his wife. He ain't fucking nobody. He ain't doing no lies. He's the mother.
He ain't doing drugs.
He ain't doing drugs. They said, this motherfucker is, whatever they call it, I say he's a monk. They say he's a motherfucking monk. That's what the fans said about him. So you read about Martin King, might say Martin had a life, he was fucking in the hotel now and then. They read about Malcolm X. They said, this motherfucker, they got nothing. They said, other than this nigga with the real clean hands. So he was all that. But when he went to prison, he changed his whole mindset. I knew it was possible.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And so I said, I'm going to be like Malcolm X. If I can't do that, if I can't do nothing else, I'm going to be like Malcolm. I'm going to read every fucking thing. I want to be rich. My whole thing wasn't about being no political savior and all this shit. It's like I want to be wealthy. So I said, I'm going to get every book I can on reading about being wealthy. And that's going to be my study while I'm in goddamn prison. That's going to be my study.
Right.
I read everything about how to do the right thing, how to read, all the wealth books. Think and Grow Rich, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. When I read Rich, I said, man, Rich Dad, Poor Dad is me. My mama taught me about get a good job, get some benefits. That's what that shit said in Rich Dad, Poor Dad. He said, that's the poor way of thinking. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Said, no, that ain't how you do it. So I read all that. Like, man, that's me. This my mama told me my whole life. I always rejected it. I didn't want to do that shit. My granddad told me we couldn't get rich with these. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh, this is me. This book is me. That's the first book I read. I read it. That's the first book I ever read to my entirety. I read it all the way to the end. I read it from the first page to the end. For anything else to do. So I read the critics all the way to the back of the book to the last word. You know what I'm saying? But and from now on, every book I read the critics and I read it to the end.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I wanted to read, I said my entirety. I read
You
the
want to get it all.
whole thing. Who wrote it, why they wrote it, what the books they read, what the credits they gave them to. I wanted it all.
Forward, the acknowledgement.
All. I wanted it all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
what we got to do?
Right.
Read it all.
Read everything.
Read every goddamn thing. And that was my practice. So when I got there, I went to church at the same time. And what I learned while I was there, I learned that everything that was all those wealth books was in the Bible. Everything Jesus had said. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Cast your treasures upon the water, and after many days, it'll return 100-fold. You know what I'm
Say
saying?
it again.
Cast your treasures upon the water, and after many days, it'll return 100-fold. You know, but every book I was reading, all the wealth books, it repeated everything Jesus had said. Just like, because I didn't understand the Bible. I don't think nobody can understand the Bible until you really can dig into it and really have somebody explain it to you day by day. Man, every wealth book explained the Bible to me, especially in the ways of getting wealth and just doing the right thing. It explained to me, and it made so much sense that it's so easy. Because I had been taught that, stealing can get rich. But when I said, no, can't get rich stealing. Ain't gonna work.
Right.
Stealing ain't never worked. You know what I'm saying? How the hell you gonna get rich stealing? I knew the granddad told me to have a story. Stealing to get you rich for a little while, but it ain't gonna last.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You'll get some money, but it ain't gonna be but a little while.
It's only temporary.
It's only temporary. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So I knew I was like cast all that shit away. Right down to this day, people talk to me about some stealing, some trying to do some shit on the side. Like, I don't want to do it. Fuck that.
Right.
Don't work. Tried it before. Didn't work for me. Wound up in jail. Nigga, ain't doing it. You know what I'm saying? You feel me?
Right,
Can't get it. Don't want to do it. Why do it? You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna work. You feel me? And so I'll be like, anytime somebody trying to do something, kind of like, hey, change that. I don't want to do it. I went to go buy my car. I ain't gonna tell you which one you know who told me this, but I went to go buy it's a luxury car, and I ain't had the paperwork, because I hadn't did my taxes. I did my taxes, but I hadn't renewed my taxes. But this year, he said, man, I need you $20 tax. I was like, well, I ain't got them. I ain't done them yet. They're gonna be done by the end of the year. He said, well, it's gonna be $150,000 down on the car. He said, but all you gotta do is just give me some shit, some fake shit, and I do it all the time. I'm like, I ain't doing that. I said, I ain't doing that. I could have did it. I know how to do it. I said, I ain't doing that. Because the minute I do it, and the shit come back, I might get away with it now. And niggas don't like me. Sometimes let me see, go look at all the paperwork. I said, he fixed that paperwork down. And won't lock him up on that. He ain't legit. I said, no. I said, I just need $150,000. You know what I'm saying? I ain't want to do that because I could have did $10,000 with the paperwork. Right. But I had to do $150,000 not the paperwork. Right. I said, I just do $150,000. Right. I ain't want to do it. Right. You know what I'm saying? But because I understand short term, temporary. But guess what? After I did the $150,000, I think about a month later, 2 months later, man, $500,000 came in on settlements. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't even miss it. You feel me? Right. It's like just like, you know what I'm saying? Like just like boom. You know what I'm saying? But the guy said, "Oh, you can just tell your accountant to fix the paperwork." I'm like, "Nah, I ain't telling my accountant. You're wrong.
I'm doing it by the book.
By the book, cause you know what I'm saying. I don't want no problem. I know it can be done. I used to do that. I know it's easy, but I'm gonna do the shit. Take the $150. I put the $150. And I got it now. I put the $150 down. Lady said, "Wow." She looked at my credit. She said, "Yeah." She this how she looking. This how I know people still be up to no good. She said, "Yeah, your paperwork straight. You need to get your credit on lock. You need to lock your credit down." She said, "You the perfect victim." That's what she told me. I said, "Why would she say some shit like that?" You know what I'm saying? She said, "You the perfect victim. You need to put your credit on lock." That day, I went back home. I got all my credit, put my shit on lock. You know what I'm saying? I never had no locks on my credit card. But that's what she told me, the finance lady at the place. She said, "Yeah, you need to put your credit on lock. You perfect victim."
Meaning like for people that's into fraud.
It's still into fraud. But she said that like
she might have been.
Yeah, no, how she did. No. She said like, "She the perfect victim." White lady told me this. I said, "Go lock my shit." I swear to God. I had never even thought about being a victim.
Right.
But she said, "You the perfect victim." You know what I'm saying? So I turned that day, instead of becoming a fraudster, into becoming a victim. You know what I'm saying? Of fraud. Because she told me I could be. She said, "You the perfect victim." Now.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a hell of a story.
Because I could have gave her the fake paperwork. Right. And just the fraudulent. She'd have knew it too. Right. She'd have knew it was fake. But she knew when I put that $150 down, she knew I was the real deal. I put the $150 down, and nigga, you the perfect victim. Somebody gonna do you the other way, and they gonna bring the fake paperwork with your credit and do you on and put $10,000 down. That's what I said to myself, but I'm just saying, she flipped around. Instead of me becoming a fraudster, I became the victim of a fraudster, without it happening. But in her mind, next you're gonna be the perfect victim now, not the fraudster. You know what I'm saying? But that's what she said. But that's just the story of how the prison life worked for me, man. And it was crazy because I was struggling in prison, man. Because I was happy in prison. You saw me. I was happy every day. I had motherfucker want to beat me up, man. Right. In prison, man. I had to threaten to go down to the guards desk. Nigga like, man, you think you better than everybody else? I'm like, dude, I just want to help, man. He said, no, nigga, come on. I'm like, everybody want you. Well, what the fuck you so happy about, nigga? You in prison. And I'm like, nigga, I am happy. I said, this is the best thing ever happened to me. I said, the future looks fucking bright now. Right. I said, my future looks bright. That was the books you tell me. The future is bright now. You know what I'm saying? All that stinking thinking is gone. You know what I'm saying? Right. But that's all it is like, it's hardening of the attitudes, and this stinking thinking will get you in all the mess. You know what I'm saying? And once you get rid of the stinking thinking, he said, man, your life can change because your words or whatever you have. Every time I told you, I said, I want a nightclub. I knew it already worked. I said, I want a nightclub. Fucking a month later, fucking motherfucking killed his wife. Nightclub jumping in our hands because we just said we want a nightclub. I'm out. We have no idea I was going to get and it was the largest nightclub in the entire fucking city. In fucking Buckhead in Atlanta, Georgia. Right. I knew this shit was possible. I seen it happen. Right. Even in the criminal state, even in the state on topical. And now I know the real deal, whole deal about words and the power of what you say. And I'm saying, all you got to do is say it and believe it, and it'll happen. You know what I'm saying? And it started happening overnight. It had already been happening, even when I didn't believe it. And now I'm a fucking real believer. I read over 500 books, and it's all about just believing. It said to me, the greatest salesman in the world. And I'm reading the book, and I'm like, I'm struggling. This is when I first got there. I'm reading all the book. I'm trying to believe. I don't really believe it, but I'm trying to believe. And I read The Greatest Salesman. I'm like, I ain't no great salesman. I know how to sell. I'm fucking selling accidents. Hell, I'm getting people money. That ain't great. Hell, you don't cost you no money. Don't call me no money. You ain't got to put no money up. And I'll take you to go get some money. Right. Hell, I ain't got a lot of selling to do that shit, right? So I'm like, there ain't no salesman. I ain't no goddamn salesman. I said, how am I going to be the greatest salesman in the world? You know, because I know I get out here, I'm going to be rich. I got to sell something, right? So I'm like, and I read this book, and it had like 12 scrolls, and the first scroll was the day I began a new life. That's the first scroll. And the second scroll was about love. And it said, muscle can split a shield and even destroy life. And I remember this because I remember it just from the first day I remember it.
And what was it?
Muscle can split a shield.
Muscle can split a shield.
And even destroy life. But only the unseen power of love can open the hearts of men. And until you conquer that, you'll be no more than a peddler in the marketplace. Man, that shit to this day is still fuck my heart up because I said, that's all I gotta have, just love a motherfucker and love on them and do them right. And I become the greatest. And you can have all the other skills in the world, but if you ain't got no love, you ain't gonna be shit. You know what I'm saying? He said, but if you conquer love and you can love on some people, you're gonna become the greatest salesman in the motherfucking world. Swear to God, I took that. I almost cried. I think I cried when I was in prison every day. I said, I ain't gotta be a slick talker. I ain't gotta be nobody trying to trick nobody. I just gotta love on. You're gonna become the greatest salesman in the world. I took that. I read all the other stuff about persistence. I read all the other stuff about do this, to become a great salesman, all that's needed. But I read all those scrolls. But they said, with love alone, forget about all the rest of them. With love alone, you can become the greatest salesman in the world. And honestly, man, from the time people be stealing from me, suing me, doing all the stuff that people do to me right now, I ain't perfect either. You know what I'm saying? But I be like, you know what? I would always go back with love. And I be trying to be like genuine, not no fake love, not no beat them up with kindness, like real fucking love. Like, you know what? I forgive you. I know you fucked me around. I ain't perfect either, but I'm still forgive you. Might not deal with you 100%, but I'm gonna forgive you. I ain't gonna hold that shit against you. You know what I'm saying? Right. I'm gonna move fucking forward. I swear to God, that shit been working for me. I ain't gonna lie. People don't know how I be goddamn like going through this shit, doing all the stuff I be doing. And I'm like, nah, love alone. Right. Love alone. love alone, you become the greatest salesman in the world. Because muscle can pull a shield and even destroy life, but only the unseen power of love can open the hearts of men. And until you conquer that, you ain't gonna be no more than a peddler in the marketplace. And that's just real talk, man. That's why I think I'm out, baby. You say I be doing it better than the lawyer sometimes. I be doing better than the doctor sometimes. The only thing they lacking
is the love.
It's a little bit of love, man. You know what I'm saying? If they conquer that part, they're gonna be the greatest lawyer in the world, the greatest doctor in the world, the greatest hustler in the world, the greatest salesman in the world, the greatest everything in the world. But I'm out here in these streets every day, and I realize one thing people ain't got.
They don't have the love.
They ain't got the love. You know what I'm saying? That's how I be and the niggas, man, I'm shooting like a rocket on them. They ain't got no love, man. I be shooting like a rocket on them because I'm able to go around and forgive them. I be seeing what they doing. I forgive them. I see how they operate with me and operate with others. And I still forgive them. I let them get away with it. Like, fuck them. I already know it ain't going to work for them. You know what I'm saying? Because I know without no love, it ain't going to fucking work. You got to have love in your heart. So I don't like to take anything away from Jesus and the Jesus teaching, you know what I'm saying, about building wealth and building life and building all of it. Because I think everything is like a special gift from God. You know what I'm saying? Because God is in control of everything. So the Bible, hands down, is the best book on wealth that I ever came across because it allowed me to understand how spiritual wealth building is. You know what I'm saying? Because wealth building ain't all just going to go get rich. It ain't like that. You know what I'm saying? So I had already been studying the Bible in prison, like profusely. Even before I went, I already had good stories out of the Bible. And I never really understood them. I heard them. And I never got it until when I got to prison, I became a scholar at studying wealth. But everything I studied about wealth always went back to the Bible.
Right.
Every book I ever read, Socrates, Aristotle,
right.
All of them, it was written before the Holy Bible, but it's always all spiritual based about mind and how you think. But I got a hold to a book. This after I read all the book, I got a book called The Secret. You know The Secret?
I know about The Secret.
I can't remember her name. I can't remember her name. I just had it, but I can't remember her name right now. But I read The Secret. And I was like, man, The Secret is really good. I heard about Secret. I never really read it. I ain't read nothing. You know, from the prison. I read The Secret. And The Secret had about 30 books in there that she had read in order to form her opinion on her writing The Secret. And one of the books, I had read all of them. Every book that was in there, I could get a hold to. I told somebody to get me in prison. I read all the books she read. And that one book was called The Master Key System by Charles Hannell. And I got that book, man.
The Master Key System.
The Master Key System. Yeah, that was the book. And another book was Secret of the Ages. I remember getting Secret of the Ages. And I remember I cried. This is real talk. I was on my top bunk. I remember to this day where I was when I read. I was on the top bunk in Bill before I even got to Montgomery to go to Georgia. I was in one of the other dorms. And I got it. I was on the top bunk and I got it. I think Michelle, somebody had sent me the book and I got it. And the book looked like some old scrolls from a long time ago. Just looked at old. Wow. It was a new book, but the way they had it said, like it was a secret inside of it.
Right.
And I remember getting about like, oh wow, this finna open my mind up. This is the book. You know what I'm saying? And The Secret of the Ages was one of the books by Robert. I can't remember Robert name. Robert something. And I read The Secret. And The Secret is like, whoa, it just had a lot of stories, a lot of stuff about, just how your mind is in control of everything and how everything is all together. And it just laid out the plan. Mm-hmm. Then I got the Master Key System. The Master Key System was I call it the book of all books, because it actually gave you stuff to do. He said, close your eyes.
I don't care one of those.
And meditate, sit still. Learn to control yourself. Don't move for 10 minutes. Just control yourself. Don't think of nothing. Just don't move your body. Just stay still. And then the next one say, well, do your same thing, but do it with your thoughts. Try not to think no thoughts. It's going to be hard, but over time, you keep practicing, you'll eventually get it where you don't think about nothing. Your thoughts will be just clean thoughts. It's hard to do. Trust me. You got to keep doing it. I'm in prison. I got nothing else better to do, right? You just try to control everything. I'm at bed at night just like trying to just not think no thoughts. It's hard to do, not to think no thoughts. He said, yeah, if you ever get to the point where you don't hardly think a lot of thoughts, you can just focus on one thing. He said, you're getting there. And it kept getting all these different things to do. It had 24 things you need to do. And it just had so much. And it was like, it was breaking the Bible down on how Jesus was able to heal, how Jesus was able to, remember Jesus went to the wilderness and he was out there for 40 days and 40 nights and eat. And he was like, came back, he was healing everybody, you know what I'm saying? He was, shooting through the crowd, nobody couldn't see him, because he had been out there he was like,
he was locked in.
He was locked in. And the master key system, in a sense, was teaching you how to lock in. You know what I'm saying? Get your don't think then, how to control your body, how not to keep your thoughts. Think of the origin of things. It show you think of how things got started, not just from the day, but how the first molecules started and how it ended up being a human being. Just think of everything from the beginning to the end. Learn how to make your thoughts like that. If you want to be wealthy, start from the dot and then see yourself rich. You know what I'm saying? It started teaching you how to, just do everything from a mental standpoint. And I got that book and it said, this would really fuck me up. In the beginning, I read the book, it said, because I was like, man, I ain't gonna be able to do all these. So I read the book first through before I actually did all the steps. Gotcha. So I read it first and I said, I knew all the steps. I said, damn, I gotta do all these steps in order to be the master of the key. Jesus was the master key. Jesus, in a sense, is the master key. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the book, it said, the master key is the truth. In order to know the truth, that'll set you free on all this other shit. I'm like the Matrix. When the guy was in the Matrix, he started like,
right.
He's like, you can see it all. You can just see all the bullshit. See all the bullshit somebody coming with at you. See all the lying, stealing nigga doing from you. You can get mental. All the mental shit, you can get it, it, because you know the truth. You can see you can see the future. You know what I'm saying? All that shit. I actually can tell you some stories about that. Now I will in a minute. But however, this particular time I was reading, it said, anybody, this is what the book said in the first chapter, it said, anybody with the knowledge, I remember this like I remember that salesman book when it said anybody with love alone. I remember this word because it stuck with me too and it let me know that it's all I need. He said, anybody with the knowledge of the master key system has an inconceivable advantage over the multitude.
The inconceivable advantage.
Hold on. No, but but it said anybody with the knowledge. It didn't say anybody who learned every step in this book. Anybody who read the book and got ain't gotta learn every step, know how to do the move side and
okay.
I ain't gotta do all that.
Just the knowledge of the book.
He said, anybody, this is what the book said, anybody with the knowledge, it made me cry almost too, has an inconceivable advantage over the multitude.
I gotta go out and get that book right away.
That's what it said. That's
immediately. You're
gonna read it and it's gonna tell you that. It's gonna say anybody with the knowledge of the master key is gonna have an inconceivable advantage over the multitude. And that's the truth. When I read that and I got out of prison, that was one of the last books I finished on. I was trying to finish it before I do all the steps before I got out of prison. I didn't actually finish, but I got through some of them. I went to one of the steps I went through, did one of the roll your eyes back and do that. I wound up with some kind of like another world. I remember doing that. I said, oh shit, I jumped up out that bitch. I ain't want to be there. I'm like, this shit too powerful.
So you haven't even done all the steps yet.
I just told you this is the last step I did. The last step I did was like one of the 8 steps, and it was like roll your eyes back and just move side and go into this space. And I rolled my eyes back in my head and I went. It was in a bunk bed in prison, and I remember going somewhere, and I was so scared because I thought we were gonna come out. So I jumped up out of it. I don't want to do that anymore. I ain't ready for that. You know what I'm saying? That's what I said, and I stopped, and I never do it again. And that was the last step I did before I got. But for what I wanted, it said anybody with knowledge of the master key system has an inconceivable advantage in the neighborhood of the multitude. Now, I'm telling you, this is the story from the master key system, real story. I got out. Now I remember my partner had been in some kind of scam, and they had a lot of money. Millions of dollars. Millions. Him and my partner. I had one partner like on nightclub. Another partner who we rolled with, and him, both of them my friend, but my partner, my real friend. Both of them had millions of dollars. They had been doing the little government scam. And they had plenty of money. And they ain't had none. I got out, I'm doing the right thing, I'm doing it by the book, and I knew they had the money. My other partner, who was my partner, was like my kind of a partner. He was like here every now and then. He saw what I was doing. He saw the stuff I was trying to do. I just got out. He comes to me $5,000 here, $3,000. He said, George, you need some help, man. Here you go. My other partner wouldn't give me nothing. knew who I ain't tell on. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't give me nothing. You know, still he ain't my partner now, but we still cool. We ain't fell out. But he wouldn't give me that. This guy, who I've been helping out still to this day, that nigga needs something, he's talking about right now, get anything he want. He know I've been helping him out the whole day. For 20 years I've been helping him out because he helped me out when I first got out. And he got into a bind. I was like, every time he needs somebody, you know, give him some calls. He helped me out. He started me because one day I was like, he was like, man, I got all this. I knew he had all the money. He had been giving me 5, 10 here and now just to help me do shit. And one day I was talking to him. I mean, you got all this. The book said. The book said, if you got a lot of money, if you ain't doing it, we're just sitting in the closet. That's dead money. That's what the book said. It says dead money. You got to do some of that money and get it going. That's what I said, right? That's what the book said. They weren't the spiritual part. They were just words in the book. I got home. I told that to the exact words what that book told me. I said, man, all that money you got, dead money. I said, just sitting around ain't doing nothing. I told him the exact words. 24 hours. He said, meet me on Old National Highway. By the old liquor store, by the old movie theater, Old National Theater. Remember that shit?
Yeah, of course.
He was a little wild house over there. He said, meet me up. What about a bookstore behind me?
Yeah, they got a direct restaurant.
Yeah, he had a shoebox full of money with $100,000 in, like $85,000, $90,000. He said, man, go do something with it.
Wow.
you see what I'm saying?
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? I'm saying, I just read a line out the book. I ain't say bring me the money. I didn't say give me the money. I didn't say I need the money. I didn't say let me borrow the money. He said, meet me on Old National Highway. And he had a shoebox full of money. I call it. It was really a shoebox full of money. It was a shoebox full of money. You know what I'm saying? I took that money. I bought about 10 cars. I had my dealer's license. I bought about 10 cars from the dealer auction. And at the time, I was trying to sell the car. I didn't sell nothing. But he kept coming back. Like, man, I need the money. You know, getting it, whatever. And I had about $25,000. I had some cars. He came back and got one of the cars. I said, man, I need the money. He had, whatever. All right, cool, no big deal. But he had about $25,000 left over. I had been in prison, and I had a connection to get some information. And I could get the information. I knew how to get information because I had read in prison. Google got everything. You can find everything on Google. So I found a connection on Google that I could get the information if my action is. Unlimited information. Because in prison, I had read a book that you everything on Google. I had read a book about that. So I said, let me search Google. I can't search it. Shit, information started popping up. All the accidents I could possibly get. This is just real talk. And I said, shit, good deal. That shit gone now. But at that time, it was there. You know what I'm saying? But I had $25,000 left over. And I had a girl I had just met. Who was worked with me for like 10 years. She's my girlfriend, side girlfriend, and she worked with me. She called everybody. Man, we started making money. She called people, getting people in. This is real talk. Until we basically I was getting 500 cases just selling us dollars, but I was making $1 million a year. Just getting cases and calling people because I had a connect to get them with. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And it's just real talk. You know what I'm saying? And I had the money to pay her. I wouldn't have had the money to pay her. I wouldn't have had the money because I ain't have the spirit that you be calling folk on the phone. But she was a worker. I had met her at Lennox and she just do anything. She was at her spirit and she wanted to, come up. And I had the hustle and I was paying and I had the money to start off paying until we got going. And next thing you know, we got going. I gave him all his money back. You know what I'm saying? And then it just took off, and I started making $10,000 a week, $20,000 a week, $40,000 a week, $50,000 a week, $100,000 a week, $200,000 a week, until now. You know what I'm saying? Just off of that. What I'm saying?
Yeah, now.
Just because.
Seven zeros a week.
Yeah. No, I'm saying just because that money he came and gave me off the book. That they said, one of the books said, you ain't gonna never know where the money coming from. He said it could be coming from West Virginia somewhere. And you have no why, because once you put the word out, you don't know where that word is gonna go. But I'm gonna tell you this, just like the Bible said, your words will not return void.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying?
100%.
So what I'm saying to you is, he said, you ain't gonna know where it come from. This was the book. So this book was called Science to Get Rich. He said, once you put the word out, it's some thinking stuff. Inside the world. And it's once you say the word, it get to work. You can't stop it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's some thinking stuff. You know what I'm saying? That permeates the universe. You know what I'm saying? And once the word go out, it's gonna happen. You know, I said you ain't gonna know where you can want a sewing machine. And the sewing machine, once you say I'm gonna get that sewing machine, you might not know what a sewing machine come from, whatever, but it gonna come to you some kind of way. You know what I'm saying? Cause and you believe it, it's coming.
You can put that thing in motion.
Yeah,
It's not you can't stop it.
You can't stop it.
Right.
And that's why when you do illegal stuff, when you put that thinking in motion,
Can't stop it.
can't stop it. You know what I'm saying? You know, but what come along with that shit too, you can't stop that too.
Right.
You might go to jail. You know what I'm saying? Cause once you put it in motion, it's how one niggas I'm about to go rob that bank. Nigga might get ready to go rob that bank. Might be open. You might get, but you might not get out that bank. You might get out the bank and get away with the money, but that don't mean you ain't gonna go to jail later on. You know what I'm saying?
Well, some other stuff.
Some other stuff, because that thinking stuff. You know what I'm saying? Let's say as long as you have a right thing, it gonna work regardless. But if it's a right thing, it's gonna work for you in the right way. You know what I'm saying? And they just, you know, and that's, when I say the best wealth book I've ever read, that's the wealth book that all the book gave me some tidbit, but that one word, I think I got the master key system. I remember, like, when I read I remember the words reading is about their words about dead money. And I remember him saying he don't know what to do with the money. I said, man, that money never dead, man. I read the right word of the book. I remember them words. That money dead. If you ain't doing nothing with it, you're dead. I said, just like that. It was at Minute Square when I told him. Never forget it.
Wow.
We're coming out of Lennox. And that nigga said, man, George, meet me on National Highway. I ain't asking for the money. I didn't beg him for the money. I didn't say, man, loan me the money. He pulled it out his trunk, and he had a box full of money. And he said, do something with it. Exact words.
Wow.
I like to speak in tongues. That's the right word. And that's when I knew it. Honestly, I knew this shit was real. What I had read in the books, I believed it. But when that happened right there, nigga, you couldn't tell me nothing about the book ain't real. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't tell me nothing about the word of that book. When somebody tell me now when I'm explaining these books, I'm telling you because I know it's real. I know it's the truth. I done seen it work. I never in my life thought I would have the type of money I got, the type of money I make. I never even considered a Rolls Royce. You wouldn't even consider it. I didn't want one because I was like, I ain't gonna never get now. Never consider it. Took me a lot to even go down there and get the one I got. Because I ain't considered when it on my plan. You know what I'm saying? You know, I know I wanted to ride in a private jet. I know I wanted a Bentley because I did a vision board and the Bentley was a part of it. So I got the Bentley first. I had to get it out the way of what I had believed. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna tell you another thing. Me and my girl, when I tell you we worked with, because I already wanted to be in a private jet. So I did a vision board. It wasn't a real vision board, it was a fake. I just counterfeited myself sitting in a private jet and I put it on Facebook. And I counterfeited her sitting beside me. I put it on Facebook and I put it on there. And I put it out in the universe. And I put us both out there. And somebody told me, nigga, that's fake. You photoshopped that shit in there. Somebody, I took this shit down. Like, oh, he caught me. Oh, I'm embarrassed. Swear to God. 10 years later, swear to God on everything I love. This one story. 10 years later, I was on a private jet with her. This is my first time on a private jet. I've been on a private jet before without her, but this is the first time on a private jet with her. We took a picture. We go back, and she looked, and she said, we had the picture right now on my phone. She's sitting in the exact same seat on the private jet. Look almost identical to the private jet I had photoshopped us in. She's sitting in this seat on the left side. We didn't plan it. She got on the jet. She sat there. I sat there.
Wow.
She's sitting in the seat that I photoshopped her in. I'm sitting next to the seat where I photoshopped myself in. Same, almost identical goddamn playing swan. Everything I love. I'm like, we posted, this is manifestation. Because we manifest this shit 10 years prior. And now we actually sitting on the almost exact same jet in the exact same seats. And I got a picture today and prove it. 2 of them. That the one we did 10 years prior and the one that we actually on shit in the exact same. We ain't say, hey, sit in this seat, do what we was on.
Right,
we didn't say that.
It just naturally sat there.
Naturally sat down. We didn't even know what we were doing. So after she looked at it, she said, this the same seat I was sitting in on the picture you photoshopped. I said, damn, sure is. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And we saw that shit. And that's the power of manifestation. That's the power that it actually worked. And that was God showing us in the universe, showing us that it's true. What we're doing here, and you can have, this is just the tip of the iceberg. Anything your mind can conceive, you can achieve. So when Jesus said, you can say to that mountain, move from here to there, and if you believe, that mountain will move from here to there. Jesus said, anything you see me do, you can do it also. He said, you can do it if you believe. He said, you can walk on water. Peter walked on water. You can do it too, if you believe. And a lot of stuff that people are doing, this is Jeff Bezos, Mark Cuban, Jay-Z, P. Daddy. They doing it because they believe that shit. You know what I'm saying? They ain't walking on water, but nigga, they walking on water. They just flew into space in a fucking rocket by Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos. Them motherfuckers shooting up like rockets. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You feel me?
No doubt.
First they started on with Amazon. Now they shooting up like rockets. Next, they're gonna be shooting over the goddamn Mars, shooting over the Saturn. You know what I'm saying? Just because they believe. And now you take that same person back to the Bible days and they shooting up in rockets back in the Bible days, because it's all possible because they doing it now, they could have did it back then. I'm saying, so they looking at Jesus healing people, they couldn't believe that shit. You think they'll believe they could shoot up in some damn rockets right now? The shit that we seeing every day like it's no big deal, huh? So I'm like, they were looking at Jesus healing. I understand why they didn't believe it. You know what I'm saying? It's wow, I wouldn't have believed that either. I ain't never seen it before, but I can see it now just by seeing a joker that I couldn't believe that I could talk on a cell phone when we had a wired phone. But once they got the tenor phone, I said, well, next thing they're gonna do is have a cell phone. Cause now we got a cell phone here, and we can talk on a wireless telephone. Next, you're gonna be able to talk on this. When I'm younger, I'm like, I know I got my cordless phone at home.
Right.
This gonna be a cell phone later. You know, you feel me?
Right.
That's when after I saw that wire break loose, I knew one day we're gonna be able to talk on cell phone. Actually, when I saw the walkie-talkie when I was a kid, I knew one day cell phones gonna be possible.
Right.
Now that's a drop in the damn bucket.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
So healing somebody, man, you just gotta look. Everything we do, we just gotta believe. They making food. They making human bodies. They making everything. They making organs. Everything that you want to do, just like Jesus said, if you believe, even rising again, you can do it.
And on that note, I'm gonna bring us out of here because you're giving so much good game. You got so much knowledge. I know you got hours more that you could just keep on going.
Prison, man.
So which means that you just gotta promise me one thing before I let you tell them where they can find you. Before I let you tell them a little bit about the reality show that they continue to tune in, you just got to make me this one promise right here for all of the viewers that you're going to come back on and we're going to do a part 2, because there ain't nowhere in the world we can finish all of the good game and all of the good truth and all of the good teaching that you're doing in just one sit down.
You're right. So yeah, man, I promise you, I'm going to get more knowledge because I'm actually starting back to read again and reading a lot. And I'm going to come back and we're going to dig a little bit deeper, not just for me, not just for us, but for the people out there so they can understand how to do this, that they can be wealthy, they can be prosperous, they can be whatever they want to be. Some people might not want to be wealthy. They might just want to be a great father. Look, everything I'm telling them you now, everything I'm telling them, you can become a great whatever you want to do just by believing. You know what I'm saying? I know some people don't want to be wealthy. This is my walking on water. But somebody else walking on water might just want to be a good father. Let's come back on. Let's talk about it, and let's tell people on how they can just be great. Period. You know what I'm saying? You know, see them at the top.
No doubt. So there you go. You already know. You heard from this man earlier. You know he's a man of his word. So y'all know y'all gonna be able to tune back in to get part 2. But before I take you on out of here, tell people what you got going on, where they can find your reality show, what's the name of it, where can they find you on social media. Let them know where they can find George Byrom, the extraordinaire, the greatest salesman on earth, the one and only, the best personal injury attorney that's not an attorney that you're ever going to meet in this world. Go ahead and let them know.
You can find me, Crash to Cash, GA on Instagram. You got us at Crash to Cash on Facebook. You can find us on YouTube at Crash Money Millionaire. That's our reality show that we put out. Now, I'll tell you like this. When you see my reality show, you can be like, oh, that shit, that guy was talking like he can walk on water. But yeah, that's my reality show, and that's reality. That's what I used to be doing. That's what I might do still now. That don't matter. You are who you are. You can change at any given time because the power of forgiveness, the power of anything that you always is available to change and do whatever you want to. You become righteous and you become unrighteous, but the power of change is in everybody. So look at my reality show. It's a story of redemption. It's a story of love. It's a story of what we do out here. It's a story of just not knowing and knowing the truth, and you can do it all at the same time. and that's just how life is. And so you'll see that, and you'll be able to partake it, and you'll see the goodness in that as well, because you'll still see the giving part, and you'll see the ungratefulness part of a lot of the people, you know what I'm saying, even in sin. But thank you, and I love you. I look forward to seeing you. Check us out. If you're ever in an accident, call us up, Crash the Cash. It's one thing you're going to get from us. You're going to get the truth. We're not going to take anything from you. We're going to always get you a lot of money, and we're going to always tell you the truth. Crash the Cash, Crash Money Millionaires. Peace out.
There you go. And we appreciate y'all for tuning in. You already know it's In and Out Worldwide, In and Out Podcast. We appreciate you coming. Once again, we had another legend, the one and only George Byrom, Crash the Cash, Crash Money Millionaires, the personal injury extraordinaire. This man didn't only give you some good games on how to grow your business and how to grow wealth, but he gave you some true knowledge on how to take control of your life. No matter what you're going through, no matter what you've been through, you heard his story. It's real. Any one of you could do it. Never give up. You got to always believe. The power of belief. Stop the negative thoughts. Sit back, concentrate, focus for a minute, because this man just told you in actuality, none of this shit is game. It's all real. Continue to check us out. We appreciate you for tuning in. You know where to find us. It's at INNOUTWW on all social media platforms. And when you come to YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button when you come and check us out on YouTube. It's at INNOUTWW. It's In and Out Worldwide Podcast, and I am your host, Eric G. And we appreciate you for tuning in, and now we out.